What's up, everybody? The collab cam is not working, so Paige is just going to be a voice. We have been trying for the last 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour to try and get the collab cam to work, but it is not working. So Paige is here, but she is just a voice. We'll get some music going. Let's see if we can get a little music in the background for everybody who wants to hang out. Listen to a little music action. I do not know. Actually, it doesn't even look like we're live. So if you are there, let me know if you are.
You're live.
And we have Marvel Day. Salty Turtle Cupcake, hello. Yeah, food, there's some pretty fun stuff. We got Bill here this morning. Bill is hanging out. Hey, Bill. He's looking like a little cranky man right now. So, yeah, we got a fun one planned. Salty Turtle Cupcake, new to this channel. Well, welcome. Yeah, once the stream kicks off, we will we'll head over and start watching, obviously, the reveal. Let me go ahead and make sure that that's nice and pulled up here. But for now, we're just hanging out for a moment. Big thank you to our channel sponsors, Card Conduit and Dragon Shield. Card Conduit for selling all of your Magic cards. Take your unused singles that are 50 cents or more and send them off to Card Conduit. Card Conduit has a great buy list. They are going to get the most for your cards. Ah! Why is this so... Hold on. I think this is going to turn into Jake needs to fix his microphone, which isn't working now.
It's working.
No, it's just falling off. Oh, God. It's always something else over here, everybody. What's up, Count? Silver Quill Dropout is here. Hot Ashes for Trees. What's up?
Your coffee, nice. I got my tea. I wish we could have got the camera working. I don't know what is going on there, but I am here. Yeah, food, I know. Did you guys see the Thanos mural that was painted last night? Or showcased?
Can everybody hear Paige well? Technical difficulties, nothing usual, that's right. Salty Turtle says, I'm going to go a little ham, but not as hard for Hobbit and Reality Fracture. What are some of your favorite cards that you pulled? I need to check them out. Like, just in general? Page is good on your end? Okay, good. Okay. I'm happy that people can hear. While we sit here for a second, I'm going to make sure that I've got my stream pulled up, which we will be watching over on Twitch. Oh, and we're not... Oh, God, we're not subscribed to them, are we? So we're just going to have ads.
Let me see if I can do it.
No, it's okay because I'm not signed in, so it doesn't matter. You won't be able to get rid of the ads, I don't think. What are you looking for in the Marvel set, Jake? I am looking for just some good playable cards. I like Marvel, but I am not like the hugest Marvel super fan. I like what I like, and I don't like some of the stuff. I know that there's typically with Marvel, it's like almost like an all or nothing kind of thing. Like everybody loves everything. Um, I have some things that I like and some things that I don't like. For example, I really like a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. That is a huge. I'm a huge fan of that kind of stuff. Um, I like some X-Men stuff. I really like Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange is really cool. Obviously, Infinity War was dope. Like bringing together all of these different ideas and having it be a good thing. That's cool. Yeah, Jeff the Land Shark. I would be totally down with that. Yep. Squirrel Girl. Yep. Would be really cool.
Oh, we're getting a squirrel girl. We just don't know what it is yet.
Right.
Yeah, do you have Prime? Pretty sure you do.
Do I have what?
Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use your free Twitch sub.
So I need to sign in under what? Like my personal account?
I think you just have to link it.
Oh, I don't know how to do all of that. I especially can't do all of that while I'm streaming. So.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to link everything in the middle of a stream right now, and I don't want to mess up the stream. So we will just have to watch with ads. Like if I click on... Yeah, I mean, they don't even have a stream for me to click on to actually enable ad-free anyway, so...
Just go to your settings.
What settings? On Twitch?
You go sign in twitch.tv/prime.
So link it to what? The Martishius Magic one?
Yeah.
That...
The ads are just really annoying, so if we could not have them, that would be great.
Yeah, that did not work. I tried. What's up, Zach? Good to see you. Good morning. Well... Good morning. Yeah, we are trying right now to figure out how to make sure it's ad-free, but it is not letting us link our account to... so I don't know. I do not know. But we'll just go back here and click the link again and try again.
Yeah, Zach, we couldn't get the collab cam working, so I'm just a voice. No video.
So do I need to subscribe to this then, Paige?
You should just be able to go subscribe, and then when you hit that, there should be a checkbox for use Prime sub.
Get a monthly free sub with Prime. I mean, I have Prime. It just doesn't want to work, I see. Link your Amazon Prime membership with your Twitch account. I hit connect. It doesn't do anything. Can you see my screen page?
I can see your stream. Your Streamlabs.
Okay, never mind. It says Twitch Interactive would like to access your profile, your name, blah 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 blah. This developer will see Prime perks, all that kind of stuff. Just hit allow. Nope, this Amazon account does not have Prime.
Mine's done that. Refresh it and then try and subscribe with Prime, because that happened to me last time.
Alright, I'm going to turn down the music here.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do so that we don't have the ads. Yeah, if you go to the subscribe now, does it
That
not?
never happened. Thanks to the Geico app, help arrived in under an hour.
It feels good
Yeah,
to
right
get
there.
help
Use Prime
fast.
sub.
It feels good to Geico.
Hey, you just earned 5% cash back on that. He's a real heartbreaker.
Boom. Complete.
I mean, I still see a bunch of ads all over it, but I don't know. How long until Wizard starts? El Moxo, I do not know. It should start here in the next couple minutes, just about 5 minutes. And it does seem like we are... Let's get rid of chat. How do I get rid of chat? There we go. We don't need chat. How do I get rid of all these things on the side here? I don't need all of these things on the side. I don't need to know who all of these people are over here on the side.
You just go full screen.
I want to get rid of all of this stuff on the side here.
Yeah. Screen.
Okay, there we go. Much better. Much better. I don't want to deal with all that stuff on the side, everybody. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to see all of those circles of people. I just really don't want to see any of it. All right, I'm gonna get my myself some water really quick, and we'll get this going. We're 5 minutes out. I also would like a Jeff card. Zach, I need to talk to you about serious business. Are you still in the chat, Zach? Zach, I need to talk to you about serious business. I'll be right back.
DJ Longer, hello. I think we've got it figured out now. Arctic World, I don't know. We tried for like half an hour to get the collab cam, which it usually works, but it was not working today for some reason, so we will try and figure that out for next time. Streamlabs likes to give us issues. Yeah, it was nice to run into you too. We were so busy last MagicCon, we barely got any game. I think we got one game in besides the ones we played at the Dragon Shield booth. It was an insanely busy con, but it was super fun. I don't know, usually it's pretty good. And there's lots of tools, and we have like the pro one. But sometimes it still just does not work for no reason. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're excited. Can't wait to see all the cards today. Hopefully there's quite a few.
Hopefully there are quite a few. We got 45 people watching. If you would do us the kindness, everybody, click like, subscribe for us. That would be awesome. I've listened to streamers explain the back end of a dozen of them. They are hot garbage made over 10 years ago with duct tape and baling wire. Wait, what did I miss?
Streaming platforms like Streamlabs.
Oh, there we
Ooh,
go.
here we go.
Let's turn down the music here, folks. Let me get this,
Alrighty.
let me get this turned down. And let's get this
and we
turned up.
Legendary
Sorry about that.
Not villain. We put that on, and it stuck. It stuck all the way to print. I hope you guys find out who's worthy in your game.
From Earth's mightiest heroes to the multiverse's greatest threats,
Sorry, dude.
Marvel
Good
Superheroes is Magic's biggest collaboration ever, creating unlimited stories across these two iconic worlds. Today, we're going to be taking a closer look at the design, power, and collectability that this set has in store. For starters, it's all about teamwork.
So for heroes, we love the idea of teamwork. Although there are
What up,
villains that
Rafal?
team up, but we like the idea that the heroes work together. The idea of heroes teaming up, that's what Marvel Comics is all about.
It's really easy when you're thinking about superheroes to kind of put the villains and the heroes into two separate buckets. But one of the things that's the shared identity between them is this idea of like the power-up moment, the climax of their story. And so the idea is when you play the card, it kind of pops off and powers up later. Or if you are later in the game, you can actually reduce the casting cost of the power-up ability by the card's cost and then cast it.
We're going to go through all of this at the
heroes
end,
and villains,
chat. We're going to
those
go back
subtypes
through and
are
look at
back
cards
with
and
even more
stuff. So
support and more cards
if
built
it goes
around
by
those
really
types.
quickly, don't
One of
worry.
the things we decided very early on was heroes and villains. We knew we wanted to make creature types, and we knew we wanted to pay that off. And so Marvel Superheroes said, okay, we're going to make sure there's things heroes do, and there's some things that villains do.
All supervillains need a diabolical plot, so the set introduces a new enchantment subtype, Plans, rewarding advanced strategy.
When we think about like master evil villains, we think about their master plans. You think about them sitting and monologuing for 10 minutes, and I really feel like this is like the magic card equivalent of that. Yeah, you got people battling on the battlefield, and then you also have this plan that's just kind of sitting out there that's slowly counting up until the big reveal. And this whole idea that the heroes have to kind of stop you before your plan really gets to pop off and explode.
One of the cool things about Universes Beyond is we don't have to reinvent everything. If there's a cool mechanic that already exists, we can go and use it. So we made a mechanic called Connive. That's a perfect villain mechanic. And so we tried it, we used it, it was perfect. I think we put it in like day one, never left.
What if I'm not a super villain, just a normal street villain?
Moments,
Well,
like
you gotta
the coming
figure
of
it out.
Galactus.
One of the earliest stories was a story about this threat that wasn't even there. You heard about Galactus before Galactus even showed up. We knew we made sagas. We gotta capture Galactus. And so we did.
While double-faced cards represent the transformation of characters into heroes, as well as the double nature of secret identities.
The duality of sort of secret identity and a hero is just a classic comic book thing. And so we made the very first one we were testing to show them what we could do. When we started talking about, okay, what should all the Marvel sets do? We knew that double face technology was just a slam dunk. And then we invented something brand new just for it. Before, we had transforming double face cards, we had modal double face cards, but now we have modal transforming double face cards. It's really fun that we can capture all the different aspects of the character, but on one card.
Showcase treatments, homages to the Golden Age, and the borderless source material cards brimming with Magic's most powerful classics mean the celebration of comics history is present across the set.
I think an overlooked thing in comic book history is typography. I think it's really nice that we're able to showcase the more graphic side of things with these, as well as giving these characters a true spotlight without a background. You know, all of these cards have color-flood backgrounds. It's a nice way to let the character shine through, to give some love to that logo. It's just taking a more wide view of the world of comics and applying them to Magic cards.
And we're not stopping at logos. Full comic cover treatments are back.
Classic cover stuff, for me, is Universes Beyond delivering on the promise of Universes Beyond in maybe the best way that I can imagine.
It was an embarrassment of riches. There were so many cool comic visuals we could do, we actually had to stop ourselves because we only get to make so many.
Thanos is cool.
The borderless source material cards combine classic Magic cards with thematic art and covers from across the spectrum of Marvel characters and
I like changing the art behind
one of the best parts of
our
partner's
here.
Intellectual property, porting it over to what we do, maintaining the original resonance, applying Magic mechanics.
So this is some of our source material frames here, chat.
One of these cards
Ooh, show and tell.
Opportunity to see a modern
and
take
Defense of the Heart
of Iron Man, as well as the partner source card, which is Iron Man's first appearance. Those cards could be in your pack, and that's incredibly special.
The set also leverages
What's up,
borderless
Charles?
panel treatments to add texture and pay homage to the framing devices of comics.
Oh, Arc Reactor.
So one of the
we
things
got to
we
look
did when we
closer at
first started
that.
Sagas is we like to do what we call booster fun. Are there ways to make it even fancier? And in fact, someone pitched the idea of what if our sagas looked like a comic book page? And it was such a slam dunk idea. We went right to the team and they drew it up real quick, and we got artists to make it, and they turned out fabulous. One of the neat things is when we can take organic elements from the property we work with and mix it with Magic, it just makes truly marvelous things.
Your lands are getting
No
the Marvel
pun intended.
treatment as well, with a cycle of full art basic lands.
Through most of Magic's history with full art basic lands, we don't have a lot of characters running around in them. The planes are iconic within themselves. For a lot of the Marvel universe, you know, they're in Cincinnati. Like, we're not gonna make a planes card of Cincinnati, so these characters need to be in there. But what you will notice if you look at them is we are way zoomed out. We are letting the land shine through on these lands.
Oh, cool.
It was the best way to do it for this, as the Marvel universe is hero-driven, not location-driven.
And it'll be easier to keep a bird's eye view through David Alvarez's
that's
borderless set of dual lands, where various found footage sources capture snapshots of super-powered clashes.
It was Morrow. The pun was intended.
When heroes and villains clash, they tend to make a scene. Scattered across packs, you'll find scene cards like this Hulk scene from Adi Granov that assemble in sets of 4 or 6 or even 18 cards. The Cosmic Cube is at stake in Johann Grenier's massive battle, and characters from all across Marvel's history have turned up to fight for it.
It's a really delicate balance because the scene is trying to do a lot of things. It's trying to tell a big picture story, but they also need to tell an individual story. You want somebody that holds it in their hand to feel like there's more to see, but not also to feel like it's incomplete. This is an 18 card scene, so it's 3 rows of 6. So the amount of fidelity and the amount of work that the artist is putting into this piece is above and beyond.
Wow.
A set of new precons are also on the horizon for Commander, helmed by some of Marvel's most powerful heroes and villains.
Whenever we design a set of Universes Beyond Commander decks, we're always very conscious of the experience of playing all 4 of those decks together at the table. For the Fantastic Four, it was amazing how well their personalities and power sets mapped to specific magic colors. Reed Richards is the thinker.
Jordan, we are
He's a scientist. He's
just now cracking
logical.
in.
He's very blue. Sue Storm is protective.
And we're gonna go
She's
back
got
through
force
everything at
fields.
the end.
Johnny Storm obviously lights himself on fire and flies around, and the thing is massive and strong. One of Green's primary attributes. The villains deck leans into the connive mechanic, which allows you to draw cards and then discard cards and put +1/+1 counters on your creatures. We've never made a green-white artifact theme commander deck before, so it was an exciting challenge. Like, what does it mean here? The Wakandans feel like they have a very different philosophy about how they interact with technology. One of Green's biggest strengths in Commander is the ability to get you more mana, which implies like big artifacts. Captain America and Nick Fury's deck, that was about the hero creature type. Everything that has this word on it is going to be powered up by my other cards. We like to have a secondary commander for each of the pre-constructed decks. Captain America is out in front leading the troops, whereas Nick Fury is like looking for members of the Avengers to join the team. So it can feel different and also play differently. Loki is a different twist on the villain theme of the Doctor Doom deck. He's always disguising himself or using his illusion magic. Black Panther and Shuri, they're pretty similar to each other in a lot of ways, but have very different personalities.
Now, if you don't mind,
Cool.
we've got one more card to cover. The latest addition to the Mad Titans collection, the Mind Stone.
Oh, baby.
I've had the ability to see this card in person. It is
Hello.
gorgeous. It's the type of thing where we're sitting at a table and we're pulling it out, we're flashing it back and forth in the light, and all of a sudden people from all
Charles,
around the
thanks
office
for the
start
10
swarming and
gifted.
saying, like, hey, can I see that? Can I hold that? Because they know
Oh,
this
thank
is
you so
probably
much.
one of the only moments they're going to be able to hold this card. There are less than 150 in existence. For the people who open it, it's going to be a really exciting and really special moment.
That's cool.
Whether you're
So they
gathering
just
for
said
game night
straight
or
up,
discovering
less than
new
150
synergy
in
by adding
existence.
Superpowers to your favorite deck, Marvel Superheroes puts legendary power from across the Marvel multiverse directly into your hands. Marvel Superheroes will be available on June 26th, so stay tuned for more previews across the coming weeks. And be sure to join us at your local game store for pre-release to be among the first to harness the power of Earth's mightiest heroes.
Charles, thank you so much for those gifted subs. Is that it from here? Okay, we're gonna look for
Hello,
here we go.
And welcome
Okay,
to the
okay.
Weekly MTG After Show. I'm so excited to take you further on the journey of Marvel superheroes. And to do that with us, we have two of our own superheroes from game design here. We've got Mark Rosewater and Dave Humphreys. Mark was telling me beforehand, Mark has led more vision designs than anyone. Dave has led more set designs than anyone. So, like I said, superheroes here. Real quick, I just gave you an introduction, but tell the folks at home who you are and your role on this set.
So I'm Mark Rosewater. So I led the vision design for this set, and I was one of what we call the SMEs, the subject matter experts on Marvel.
I'm Dave Humphreys. I was the set design lead for Marvel Superheroes, and yeah, it's been a fun journey. I actually worked on a Marvel TCG before this job.
Oh, wow. All right, so very familiar. We're going to spend, these shows are often about an hour long. We've got a lot to cover this show. We're probably going to go longer than an hour. Not sorry at all. I'm super stoked. I'm a huge Marvel fan myself. This set is amazing. So we're going to talk through mechanics. We are going to talk through the draft archetypes. Again, that's why we've got Dave here to talk through all things draft. We're going to talk through Boost Your Fun. We're going to talk through some cool promos and different variants. We're going to talk through a lot of source material cards. We're going to talk promos, welcome decks, like that. Just all the things. So we've got a lot to talk
Oh,
about.
wow.
So we're going to dive
So
right
there's a
into
ton
it.
of stuff here.
Mark and Dave, I'd love to start by going through mechanics.
Sure.
And sort of, one of the new marquee mechanics is Power Up, which we saw on Thanos earlier, but we also have our own preview. This is one of my favorite cards in the set. This is Kang the Conqueror, a 4-mana, 4/5 flying creature with Power Up, 5/3 blue. Put a +1/+1 counter on Kang and take an extra turn after this one. During that turn, Power Up abilities can't be activated. Let's start with Kang here, Mark, and tell us about the design of this card.
Well, so obviously one of the things we wanted to do from very early on was the most exciting thing about the Marvel property is all the characters. They're amazing heroes, amazing villains, and we wanted to make sure that we could do really interesting top-down designs. And so from the very beginning, one of the things we decided was we wanted the mechanics to kind of not get in our way of making just really exciting cards. And Power Up does a really good job of that. It just represents the hero or villain upping their game, getting the extra level of power, which is very common in comic books. Kang, for example, Kang's all about manipulating time, so it made a lot of sense that he's the time walk of the set. Do you want to talk a little bit? Maybe we should talk a little bit about Power Up so people understand.
Yeah, what is Power Up? How does it work?
Right, yeah, so Power Up is an activated ability. It's important to sort of think about the genesis of this, right? Like when we're looking for expressions of power, superpowers, how did we want to express that? We played around with abilities like Kicker and Monstrosity, and this is really trying to take the best of both of those worlds. Like Kicker is like a high tension mechanic that is like, right, it offers something really powerful in the late game, but like, you also, it's giving you the option to do like a less powerful thing earlier. And that can be kind of frustrating because you want to do the cool thing. In designing this, I was really looking for ways to try to like make it so that you could get something out of it in the meantime, right? Like that you can still play it early in the game and then still get to do the more powerful thing in the later of the game. It's not a choice that you have to give up the cool part of the card. So. Yeah. And then again, so the ability is reduced by the mana cost of the card if it's entered the battlefield this turn. So that is sort of a nod to like we've used Monstrosity, Exhaust, things like that. Those are a little bit tricky to get to have high enough impact at times because
Moldy, remember the power level of this is going to have to be.
And this is.
It's going to have to work with standard
like aspect where you can do it just all in one turn, right? Like the reminder text might feel a little bit mathy there, but really like 5 UUU, that is what you have to pay the turn. If you've top decked this.
Yeah, if you drop this into a battlefield where you have a ton of mana,
you're spending it via
it's pretty busted.
And then activating it. It's important to know that even if Kang still is killed in response, you're still getting the time walk ability. So yeah.
And once he's in play, you would also spend 5 blue as the sort of the upgrade.
Yeah.
So you can cast it when you first cast it, or you can cast it after it's in play. So you have that flexibility.
Yeah. And then how, this is obviously a mythic rare. We saw Thanos earlier, which is mythic. How up and down the rarity, or how much are we seeing Power Up?
You'll see Power Up across all rarities. It's pretty present. It's just, it's a really fun mechanic that's like, letting you do stuff early game, late game. Right, a lot of it. It is
sound level's good.
Express superpowers, which is one of the most fun things.
Everybody
here.
can hear well.
Taking big swings, like Time Walk's a very polarizing, contentious mechanic. I didn't know if it would get through some of the stuff. Like we're like, this is the best expression of this character, and sometimes play design is like, like this is too scary, or like no, we've done this too much in standard, or we've done this too much recently, and we go try to come up with other expressions of the characters.
Yeah, one of the real cool things about this set is, so this set, I sort of say it's like Avengers Plus.
Yeah.
It's the Avengers, you have Fantastic Four, Heroes for Hire, you got Champions, you got Young Avengers. Like, you have kind of a group around the Avengers, and that there's just such a widespread different characters.
Yeah.
And one of the neat things about this is, Marvel just has all these amazing different heroes and villains that just do really, really different things. And so they actually make really fun Magic cards.
Yeah.
That we get to capture, like, okay, what does this hero do? Well, here's this weird collection of things. How do we capture that in a card?
Yeah.
And that a lot of, to me, the fun of Universes Beyond is using sort of the paints of Magic design to really capture and bring forth the characters in a fun, evocative way that just makes a good Magic card.
Yeah.
And Marvel heroes and villains are like just excellent, excellent Magic cards.
Well, it's not just heroes and villains. We do have, we introduced this earlier, but there's a card type called Plan. So let's see our next preview card called Construct a Cosmic Cube. That whenever you draw your second card each turn, you get a 2/1 black villain creature with menace, and you get a plan counter. And then when it gets the seventh plan counter, you get to control your opponent during their next turn. Mark, tell me about the design of this card.
So Plan, and one of the things we want to do is when you play the game, we want you capturing the essence, like you're in the comic book.
Yeah.
And so one of the things is, what do supervillains do? Well, they come up with master plans that they're trying to accomplish. And I should note, different plans go to different numbers, so they're not
Construct
all
a cosmic cube.
But the idea is, okay, well, the cosmic cube, for those that are Marvel fans, it's one of the most powerful items in the Marvel universe. And so, if I can construct a cosmic cube, I can rule the world. And so the real fun part about it is designing something that sort of evokes play.
Yeah.
Here's a card. Now, what can you do to make that happen?
Yeah. And Dave, so I look at this and I hear villain plans. Are these spread across all colors? What does the plan subtype mean things in the set?
The plan subtype gets referenced by a couple other cards. I think we saw in the debut video one example. It's it is across all colors. It's a little bit more, a couple more examples are in blue and black, kind of partially the more villainous colors and whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so Mark hit on a lot of the points right. One of the things we really wanted to get to here is active storytelling.
Blue and black,
we have sagas,
the villain
which we'll
colors.
Later, are a great way to tell sort of
true.
more past famous stories. But what is the story that you can create with you have all these cool characters? What are they doing? Why are they fighting each other? What is going on? And these were meant to be some good examples of what sort of action is taking place. If you don't have some sort of scheming going on, the superheroes don't have much to do because they need to be combating, stopping some plan to take over the world or build a cosmic cube or whatever the case may be. So this is a lot about active storytelling. These all share in common that they all have a trigger that's giving you some reward and a plan counter while they're happening. So there's some sort of ongoing reward, and then they all have a payoff where they all fire off, and the plan is executed on after a certain number of counters, and it happens. And sometimes it's not the best time that you want it to happen, but we felt like that was part of the fun. That sometimes your plans even at the end don't go quite as they'd want.
MTG Ben says, if you control your opponent, can you just make them scoop?
You're getting cool stuff in the meantime. We don't want people to I just want to keep getting villain tokens. And it's no, you're going to go on and do
That's a great question.
The other splashy stuff and not have to.
And it should be an option.
Can I also want to
it
point
should
out real
be.
quick, for the Marvel fans out there, every time we're referencing something, all the plans are referencing actual plans in the actual comics. You might not be doing the plan quite how it played out, but we are referencing real things that actually happen. And so one of the things that's really neat about this set is if you are a Marvel fan, there's just Easter eggs galore. There's lots of references. Look in the background of the art. We're constantly trying to make reference to Marvel because Marvel's been telling stories for 80 years. There's so many stories to tell. So there was a lot to fit in.
Yep. And Fans Unlimited, pay attention to that whenever you draw your second card each turn. We're going to come back to that later. Let's move on to our next preview card. So double face cards are making a big return. And here we have a pretty powerful one, Mark, in King T'Challa.
Yeah, so one of the things, before we even, the very beginning, before any of the set started, we had a meeting about what are cool things that we could do as a through line through Marvel sets. And really early on, in fact, one of the first cards we ever made, when Aaron came to me when we were first pitching to Marvel, and he had me make 7 cards. Yeah. And one of the cards I made was Bruce Banner on one side and the Hulk on the other side. What more encompasses the essence? Duality is a big part of superheroes, and so one of the neat things is King T'Challa is both a great leader and an amazing superhero. Yeah. And we wanted to sort of play off both of those because that's part of who he is. and the idea that we could bring them together. These are what we call transforming modal double-face cards, meaning you could cast either side, but if you cast King T'Challa, which is the cheaper side, you can transform it into the bigger side.
Right.
So you can start as King T'Challa and then later become Black Panther when you need him to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the
cool.
bigger side does not transform back to the smaller side, but one of the really neat things about this is it lets us show off 2 different aspects of the character, which are really neat, and just make a card that just is really fun. The gameplay is really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and,
That's cool.
Dave, obviously, again, I'm gonna ask variations of the question as long as we show off mythic cards. But as Mark said, it's a big part of superhero and Marvel DNA. This duality. How up and down the rarity are we gonna see double face cards?
These are just at Mythic and just 5 cards. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, these are really some of the most iconic characters though. And this.
Oh,
yeah, this was
so
the
did you
blast
hear
work
that,
on,
chat?
right? Like,
5
we
flip cards
sort of
just
know, like,
at
Fairy
Mythic.
Mastermind is sort of a known quantity, drawing if your opponents draw 2 cards. This one is a lot of these cards we have certainly learned and designed that like the more you can build around them yourselves, the more fun that is. So right, like this is rewarding you if you can draw 2 cards as well. So it's like.
I didn't even notice that. I've read this card a bunch of times, but yeah, it's
right. Oh, that makes
key player.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're playing it in a standard deck, you already have one out.
Sort of,
you could just play the other side of the. That's an interesting
those skills
perspective.
Right. Whereas on the Black Panther side. A lot of this was fun trying to the prevent all damage. We tried to express in a variety of different ways. This is kind of what stuck of just representing his vibranium suit. Flash haste is always fun on any I feel like cat-like figures. Easy go-to. And then just the combination of the draw card when it hits the Scroll Thief text with double strike. We've sort of done once before, but haven't literally done exactly these words on a card, and just felt like a really fun this card is just all super impressive stuff and is heroic.
Yeah, everything on this does seem very good.
In general, that the Universe Beyond does really well is oftentimes we're making Magic cards, we make whatever we want to make, but when you sort of have to say, well, this is the character, this is his power set, this is what he can do, it's really fun to try to have to match what's going on, and we end up with designs we might not have made otherwise, which is really cool.
Restriction breeds creativity,
very much.
Okay, next mechanic, Mark. I'm going to let you introduce this card. So the mechanic is teamwork. The card is Go Nuts.
In fact,
oh well, there we
one
go.
of the very first things when I had a pitch to Marvel, when we did the original pitch, and Aaron had me make the cards, he said to me, one of the cards should be a deep cut. The deep cut that I made was, in fact, Doreen Green, aka Squirrel Girl. So my preview column today, my preview card is Squirrel Girl. So if you want to see Squirrel Girl, or just you like squirrels, even if you know nothing about Marvel, if you like squirrels, go check out this card. It is a fine squirrel card. But anyway, we decided that Doreen could also get a spell as well. This is her. She actually, canonically, in the comics, fights Dr. Doom. So this is not even, we didn't make anything up. This is actually in the comics. So teamwork, one of the things we decided really early on was, okay, we're doing the Avengers and such. We're doing a lot of superhero teams. What embodies the essence of a superhero team?
Wow.
And the answer is teamwork. They work together. That's really important. And so we were trying to figure out a cool way to capture that. And so we ended up doing something that's kind of reminiscent of what you've seen on vehicles or stations, the idea that the tapping of a creature itself could be a resource. So
Not gonna lie though, for limited, this card is very good.
To help with sometimes he works on a spell.
1 green for a fight.
So
Paige, that's pretty
it's
good.
Only on instants and sorceries. We did try it.
We did try
it on creatures, and then I got a lot of feedback. It's like, that character can do that without
clipping all the
people helping.
Oh, gotcha.
Makes sense. Now, this one's a common, Dave, but a little preview ahead to draft archetypes. How did you weave teamwork into the fabric of
El Moxo, I actually agree with you on the double face cards. I've never been a big fan. I have to run some of them in commander decks because they're just that good, like MDFCs. But I tend to agree with you.
This is just getting an expression of people working together is a big part of why this property is so special, and also having the teamwork value reference power. Was also just felt like an odd, we've done stuff like Convoke or whatever, but Convoke leads to a lot of tokens gameplay and small little 1/1s and stuff, and we I was excited to do something that cared more about power should matter here. Power is a theme that matters a lot through this set, whether it's in power up, which increases their power, be a counter or whatnot. So yeah, power is something we play up a lot here, and let us focus more on kind of the elements of gameplay that I'd want to see.
Vita, thank you for the sub.
These, so this is the green part of the green cycle. All of the commons actually do two things. Like I got a lot of feedback that it felt really fun. That like the expression of teamwork is like, oh well, that character might do this and that might be doing that, and just more generally, it felt like teamwork. Like these characters are helping you, the player, cast your spells if you're a superhero or whatnot. So yeah, this is.
I like this one squirrel trying to chew through the chain here.
Yep. All right. Our next mechanic is a returning mechanic, and I'm using mechanic pretty broadly here, but it is a mechanic. But really, it's an excuse to show off MODOK here.
Dude, this thing is freaking
it has
gnarly.
It connives. That's the mechanic.
Yes.
This thing is gnarly.
Talk about MODOK here.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we thought was important was we have heroes, we have villains. Early on, we're like, how do we
combine with Maha? It's Feathers
One
Night.
of our general rules
gross.
in Universes Beyond is, hey, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Magic's made a lot of mechanics in its 33 years. If there's something cool, we should use it. Connive was actually a villain mechanic in Streets of New Capenna.
Yep.
We thought it was
Maha
a really cool
just
idea. We liked it.
Gets so much better
with
with
time.
time.
This set had more legendary characters than normal. Like one of the cool things about Marvel is all the characters. So there's just more.
No
legendary
Daredevil
characters.
yet.
We liked having something in the set that allowed you to discard cards to give you, if you had a duplicate of something, you could discard it. And in fact, Connive was in this set before it was in Spider-Man, and we really liked it. It went in very early, and it just stuck. And we liked it so much, we ended up suggesting it, and Spider-Man ended up putting it in after we had put it in our set. MODOK, for those who don't know, he's a pretty fun character. You'll notice in his flavor text, he's got two abilities: mental organism and designed only for killing, because that's what MODOK stands for. He is a fan favorite. He's definitely. There was a great TV show. Patton Oswalt played him, and he really is a fun character. He's a villain through and through. He really likes causing other people pain. So, and he's a very conniving character. So all the things about it felt really good. And I love the fact that he gets rid of your opponent's small things, and he's a fun card.
Yeah. No, Connive is definitely something we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it more in the draft section, but I just really wanted to show off this card. I love this card so much. Let's move on to our next preview card in the mechanics section. This is Armor Wars, very famous Iron Man comic. You may draw a card for each artifact you control in that first step there. If you do, each opponent draws a card. Chapter 2 is artifact spells you cast this turn cost 1 less.
Oh, man.
And 3, this saga deals X damage to target opponent, where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. All right, Mark, you talked earlier about sagas depicting stories.
So one of our through lines is Marvel. One of the things we love about Marvel is they've told 80 years of amazing stories. And we in Magic have a way to convey stories, which is the sagas. Mm-hmm. And so just bringing those together seems so cool. And so really what we'd like to use sagas for is just those classic stories in Marvel. Let's bring those to light. Yeah. Armor Wars was a great run in Iron Man. Tony Stark feels that somebody had stolen his thing, and all these villains are using his technology, and he's got to stop it, so he has to go out and figure out who they are. And it was a really fun storyline. So that is the key, that we're trying to let you, the player, experience in play and recapture just some of the classic Marvel stories from all time.
And Dave, I'm curious, when you were kind of looking at what the color pairs do and the through lines of the set, this blue-red is very much an artifact color. It's very much Tony Stark and Iron Man. How much, I guess chicken and egg kind of question, how much of the set was designed from that? Did you look at Iron Man as like this key blue-red character, and then like, okay, so we're going to do a bunch of artifact stuff, or what was the back and forth there on the characters and the through lines in the set?
Yeah, a lot of it went hand in hand, right? Like, so identified
Artifact Pod is already very good, right? Food Time, and now it's like
we'll get to that, and then sort of what do they embody? What would
Degenerate?
You expect? Are there other characters in those colors that?
You're paying 4 to draw a card for each artifact you control. If you put that in the right build, you could just draw like
what we then use for constructing
an absurd amount of cards.
Have a lot of those translate to things that are worth exploring and trying to do either competitive.
Oh yeah, Josh Williams. I mean, it's just such a streamlined.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it is no coincidence that this.
It's very easy to get out of hand with an Iron Man
One
deck.
of the things we did really early.
It's kind of unfun to play against because it's just the tutor deck.
All the characters. Like I literally had a list of everybody in the Avengers or Fantastic Four. Like I listed that all out, and then we put them into colors. Like what colors are they? And one of the interesting things about Marvel is these characters. So many different stories have been told about them that there's lots of different expressions. And there's a lot of ways. So the characters don't necessarily fall neatly in one bucket because what version of it or what time period. And so. What we did early on is we figured out, okay, for each of the 2 color pairs, what characters could be there. And we made a list, and then we say, well, what's the most exciting version? And so we worked really hard to say, okay, we want to capture blue-red. Who's the most blue-red? Oh, Iron Man's very blue-red. You know, he's both. In fact, blue-red is all about innovation and invention. Like, okay, that's Tony Stark, and he's definitely, you see the blue in Tony Stark, but you see the red in Tony Stark. So.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Let's move on to draft archetypes. Dave, you were mentioning those signpost cards. We're going to look at them for each of the 10 color pairs. Yes. 10 color pairs.
Sick.
We're going to start here with Ant-Man calling Commander. Blue-green signpost. Whenever Ant-Man attacks, you can pay 1. If you do, you get a +1/+1.
Little uncommon Ant-Man here.
And whenever you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, you get to make a 1/1 green insect token. That ability triggers only once each turn. So, Dave, let's talk about this limited archetype and how Ant-Man exemplifies it here.
Right. So this was certainly a challenging thing where, in terms of like, I haven't worked on a UB set before this, so like we're trying to be really resonant top-down design to the characters, and at the same time have that translate into something that's going to play well for that color pair strategy. So certainly a fun challenge, right? So as I also just mentioned the last part, like I was trying to think, all right, like, okay, like I understand Ant-Man, but yeah, like what more broadly speaking, right? Like a color pair strategy is not going to work just off of one sort of like, what does Ant-Man do? It needs to like be reflected in like, what are the similarities that I can find in those colors? And so for each of these, I sort of had put together a sort of a mental like, you know, classification or like, what does this character kind of more generally represent? And for this, it was for blue-green. It was kind of like shifters. Like we have like people, characters who can change size or morph themselves or change themselves or adapt or right.
Oh, that's interesting. Kind of that's how they approach blue-green in the set.
To +1/+1 counters. So +1/+1 counters are the thing that the blue-green color pair is really leaning into. Like we've seen, you can get +1/+1 counters from power up. There are plenty of other ways in the sets that are creatures are just getting counters. Counters is fun.
RPT, we're live right now. Oh yeah.
Counters are just a good way to express things growing. The game
are you live?
Characters evolving, getting stronger, better, and then again, the nod to insect tokens is more just a nod to like that is the cool thing you get off of this card more than the color pair per se.
One thing I want to point out, just to show kind of, I talked about Easter eggs earlier.
And Paige is here as well. She, we couldn't get the collab cam working, but she is a voice.
Roxanne's a classic one of
I am here.
evil companies in the Marvel Universe. So if you pay attention to the art, there's a lot of love went into all the details.
Well, and Mark, you may or may not know the answer.
Thank
to
you,
the question.
RPT.
Assuming you do.
I appreciate you hanging.
So, human rogue hero.
Are you an AI? What happened to you?
It's Scott Lang. That's how it's rogue. It's Scott Lang. So there's been multiple Ant-Mans.
Yes.
And so the other Ant-Man shows up as well. Yeah. Hank shows up. But this is us showing the Scott Lang version. That's why he's a rogue.
Yep. Makes sense. All right. Let's move on to our next archetype and next preview card, Black Panther Vanguard. So we've got
uncommon
green,
Black
white,
Panther.
2 green and white for legendary human warrior hero. Whenever another non-token hero you control enters, choose one. You get to make a 1/1 white soldier, or creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So Dave, tell us about.
So keep in mind these can be pauper commanders.
So with green white is very much about heroes. This is, I mean, there are plenty.
If you're
of color
just now
pairs where
joining, thank you for joining.
Preface the last section.
We will talk over the stream just a little bit, but at the end we're going to go back over everything that has been spoiled.
These are not the only
so if you're just now getting here, and if you are enjoying the stream and you think you're going to be back, please click like and subscribe. It does a lot for the channel. We appreciate you.
Find your own path, and especially here, we want you to be able to play with various characters and team them up in ways that you would not have expected.
Yeah, so Pauper, your commander, can be an uncommon, and your entire deck
you
needs
want
to be commons.
Again, in terms
So
of,
sorry, I should have
terms of
said Pauper
classifications, I thought of
Commander.
this as kind
I
of protectors.
apologize.
This is really like, right, these
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
characters that are
So
most
your
all about
commander in a Pauper
protecting
Commander
their
deck can be an
people and,
uncommon,
their-
just so
their
long
fellow
as your
heroes,
99 are
and so,
all
like,
uncommon,
rewards for
or
having
excuse me,
heroes
are
in
all
play.
commons.
In some sense, most typo decks are a little bit
Yeah.
about
Should
going
have-
wide because, like, right,
or,
if you're giving bonuses
be a
to
regular
heroes,
commander too.
that bonus is better if you have.
Yes,
more
and
than-
obviously
so
it can
we'll
be a
lean into that
regular
little bit
commander as
here,
well.
but
Yep.
It's not really like a super go wide deck like this card might otherwise imply with sort of the
RPT, it forces you into really
thing I wanna
fun
point
deck
out,
building
we showed a
restrictions,
Black Panther
not
earlier.
getting
It's white
too
and blue.
lean
Gonna
on
ask chat, is
the
that-
usual
Black Panther is green
suspects
and white.
in
So
a deck.
One of the things we wanted to do, like I said, there's
I
so
agree
many
with
different
you.
versions of the characters that there's a lot of nuance and colors.
Yeah.
And that if we're going to do multiple versions of some of the most popular characters, we wanted them in different colors so that different decks had access to them.
Yeah.
That, you know, if you're playing a white-blue deck, you have access to Black Panther. If you're playing a white-green deck, you have access. And so we really, now, we're trying to stay true to the character. You know, Black Panther is kind of a green, blue, white character.
Yeah.
And so we're leaning into that, but we do want to show differentiation. So
Bant.
when we do more than one version of characters, and I think when I say the same character, there's superheroes that multiple people have been the superhero. But
Yeah.
if I'm talking about the same secret identity, I
Yes,
think there's no more than
Gothic,
two,
yes.
right, within the set of any one character. So
Okay.
there's that uncommon Black Panther, there's a mythic Black Panther, but there's not, that's how many Black Panthers there are. There might be others in the commander decks or welcome decks, and there's other places, but we did it within the set, restrict it to two.
This is a good place actually to ask a question that I'm seeing a bit of conversation in chat. So we've seen, you know, a mythic Black Panther and uncommon Black Panther. Do we have legendary characters at common?
No, they're only
Oh,
they're
that's cool.
uncommon and higher.
My only
in
Pauper
fact,
Commander
I
right
will
now
say
is
every-
Black Waltz
every
from Final
Every
Fantasy.
creature at uncommon and higher rarity is legendary.
Okay.
I think all but one of them are either a hero or a villain.
Pink Panther
All right,
win.
but at common, no legend.
There's no competition.
No common legendary. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. This is a cool card and a cool archetype. So Black Widow, double agent, a 3/2 death touch for 1 white and a black. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains first strike and menace until end of turn. So Dave, let's talk a little bit about
that's
this
cool.
attacks alone.
Another
Tax Alone
fun
is
Pauper
something
Commander
I've
here.
tried a number of times with sets. I led Neon Dynasty. That was part of the thing there, but that was even restricted to, like, you know, not only did you have to attack alone, it mattered only for just a given creature type.
Yep.
So
Careful.
I'm gonna try this
I
again,
bite.
broaden it out a little bit. It felt like a great flavor match for what we were doing here, like an operative or like an operative spy. The sort of the vibe I was going for here, right? Like, there's a lot of sense of, like, you know, a lot of these characters, like, specifically go it alone. That is their thing, and, you know, they might have somebody in their ear or whatever. But like they're very much about kind of like having like stealth and doing things on their own, including like some of the shield falls heavily into white and matched well with that as well. So yeah, this is about, right, like you can leave a lot of your creatures back for defense, but like making sure that you can really, like, every turn you're going to be able to attack with someone because we're going to give you bonuses that keep letting you make progress in the game, and that they're going to eventually have to deal with some of these bonuses. Yeah, and then beyond that, again, it's a lot about trying to match Black Widow's flavor. I will point out that she's a hero villain, which is partially a bit of a holdover from where we started, where originally this color pair was like trying maybe heroes and villains team up, and a lot of these things will still carry over, where there are some rewards for trying to, like, part of the fun here is having heroes and villains work together.
Yeah, I want to point out, so one of the things that's fun is we were taking characters from different points in time.
Yeah.
For example, there's a period in time early on with Black Widow where she was a double agent, where she was kind of working for both sides.
Yeah.
She ended up obviously deciding to work on the hero side, but one of the funs of this is that we have access to the full history of Marvel, and so we'll make cards and play into different things, and sometimes some of the characters that we'll do more than once, we'll get to play different aspects in a different time, which is another way to kind of hit different colors and stuff.
And I'll also note with white-black, I could almost make a case that white-black is the equipment color pair. It is not loud, it is not what I've chosen to focus on. It also just feels a little bit more narrow in what you have to draft, but it also does play well with this, right, where you can load someone up with
Feels
equipment
more
that
narrow
plays
in
well
what
with
you
attack
have
alone,
to
'cause you don't
draft.
necessarily have
So
a whole
keep
lot of
that
other
in
characters
mind
that you'd want to attack
if you
with.
do
It is also
go into
part
the
of fun,
draft
like, I think
experience.
a lot of the characters in these colors do some pretty fun stuff just canonically with equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I want to point out is
Yeah, it's hard in a
like I
Marvel
said, we
set
started
for
really wanting to make
so
sure
much
that
of it
we
not to be centered around
had
equipment,
as much top
isn't
down
it?
as we could. One of the real fun things about Limited is there's just a lot of characters that do really cool, quirky things that kind of click in, but the Limited environment is very different when you have a different collection of characters, and even you might be playing the exact same archetype.
Oh, in
but you
draft?
just play a bit differently depending
Forget
on
about
which
pack
cards you
one,
have.
pick one, dude.
And the one thing Dave does really, really well,
Unless
in
there's
Limited
a
environments
huge
is
bomb in that
giving
pack.
a lot of flexibility so that there's just a lot of replayability.
Oh, yeah.
That you really could, you might really enjoy a certain archetype, but it'll be different from time to time in a way that's very fluid and fun.
Yeah. Well, you know what I love about the design of this card? You know, it has that sort of static. Whenever any creature attacks alone, it gets first strike and menace. That seems cool. But then this card has death touch, so then it's a little bit. It's better when it's
right. She is very good at giving herself the bonus to.
I mean, this thing attacking
and
alone.
Again, like we've had mechanics too, like Exalted, that are quite
Dude,
popular, and this
come
is
on.
just kind of a step up. Like, well, +1/+1 is exciting to players. Well, certainly giving them cool, like varied ability should be fun too.
All right, let's move on to the next archetype and the next preview card. Captain America, Living Legend, 3/4.
Okay, uncommon
human soldier
captain
hero for
here.
1 white and a blue. Whenever a creature you control becomes tapped during your turn, if it's the first time that creatures become tapped this turn, untap it. So what is this archetype? Because that's a very interesting.
Whenever a creature you control
text
becomes
box
tapped
there
during your turn.
to represent a full archetype.
Yeah, so this text is certainly a little bit, I think, more mechanical maybe than some of the other ones. I mean, people have, I think, at this point seen the mythic Captain America, which speaks to some of the other aspects of the card. But yeah,
exactly.
So this is
right?
trying to lean into, again, like, well, what
Stupid
is
Urza
Widen
support.
and what would Widen
I mean,
need
this
to be
is
in this
crazy.
setting is
When you
another
take this
exercise I
outside of
commonly
just
go to,
attacking,
right? Like,
what you could do with
like
this?
what, strategy is going to matter, and like planning, and like just in general being a smart leader and whatnot, and like certainly that's the vibe we're trying to go with him in this signpost slot, right? That like kind of a strategist would be like the one word encapsulation of what I'm going for here, and what is a good strategist? Like they get the most out, like in some ways like they make their team really good. They like their team shines, and that is trying to be like what we're most conveying here. Where this particular set of text works well with teamwork, right? If you've kind of the downside of teamwork is what you've given up probably. Somebody who could attack this turn, and this card's letting you do the teamwork and still be able to attack. So it's trying to directly play into teamwork. It's also
a very fun crew commander.
Like there are quite a few extra places where I've put tap abilities. So like tap this creature to do something. So you can do that twice. You can tap it and attack.
Yeah, Eddie, they have to do that, and they did that in Final Fantasy as well.
Showing him like being somebody who like
or
is
maybe not
his
so much in
team,
Final
a strong
Fantasy.
leader
You
to
had
his
like a
team
lot
and
of
the best in everybody.
And
like
for characters
Sephiroths and Clouds,
obviously
but
Captain America,
yes,
multiple Captain
very
America,
much so.
The idea that we get to play the different aspects of what they are.
You have to have
there's a lot to the
uncommons of
character.
them
so this one's
as well.
More
These
about him being a
characters.
strategist, where his the mythic one is more about some of his powers and what he can do.
Yeah, his combat prowess.
Yeah, his combat prowess.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the next one. It is Hulk Gamma Goliath in red-green. 6/5 for a Gamma Berserker hero with reach and trample.
Holy
power-up abilities.
cow, this
creatures
art,
with
this art is insane.
And powering up Hulk puts 5 +1/+1
Like,
counters on him.
Look at this art.
Tell us about this archetype, Dave.
Yeah, so this one's probably straightforward enough, but yeah, so this is about powering up. Yeah, this is right. So this is like maybe you get a lot of mana, like you ramp, like in some ways, like you ramp the power up, you just like
absolutely wreaking havoc on these planes.
More powering up, right? Like the kind of again the one word category here I had was like, or I guess it's 2 words, heavy hitter. Heavy hitter is sort of what we were going for. We have kind of like a lot of brutes and strong people, and just people going to the limits and with their powers and exerting themselves as much as they can, and it just it felt like a good match for him. Right, him
reach,
helping other
trample,
people
6/5 for 5.
Not as on the nose, but like again, I feel like like that's sort of where we need limited to work, and like certainly I'm sure inspires other
Jank,
people.
what's up? Good to see you. Where's my
encourages
squirrel
other people
girl?
to put, kind of push their limits. He's sort of an inspirational character, at least in that, even if he's not like a leader, like we just were looking at.
It looks like it can be done at
he had
instant
a cool
speed.
Power up. I wanted him to get very huge when he powered up.
I believe so. It just costs less if it's happening during the turn that it came in.
That's nothing to sneeze at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in some games. All right, let's move on to the next one. We alluded to this earlier. It's artifacts in blue-red. Iron Man, Master of Machines, with this amazing art we showed off early in the cycle.
Cool.
So we've got a 1/4 human hero, legendary artifact creature, flying and vigilance. Iron Man gets +1/+0 for each other artifact you control. And whenever Iron Man attacks, if an artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card. Dave.
Yeah, so we hit on this some with Armor Wars, but yeah, blue-red is about artifacts. In this case, it's kind of the more
What a
artifacts, the better.
good
whether it's
card
like,
if you are in that archetype.
Treasure is not a lot of treasure.
I mean, Tony
but
Stark
gross.
loves treasure.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the common that there's a very fun common that plays into this as well. And then, right,
pretty bonkers for an uncommon is right.
The more tools he has at his disposal, the stronger he is. The more technology, artifacts, what have you, that we're trying to represent. Yeah, he's more and more formidable. Sort of just a nod to his intelligence in terms of that he's drawing a card as one of his outputs is very flavorful for him. Blue and red are cards that are colors that are very much about caring about artifacts. So just a very easy.
Could you imagine if Dockside was still a thing?
Tony Stark.
Like
Just
truly.
flavor to point out, we're doing this in all the Marvel sets.
Just
you are an artifact creature if your powers are mostly derived from technology.
Okay.
And the main thing is if you would look at them and if you didn't know better, it kind of looks like a robot.
Yeah.
That's where artifacts come from. So like Tony Stark, while a brilliant inventor, his powers really come from the suit.
Sure.
And so that's why he's an artifact.
Right. And also a little into the weeds, we did put I think Hulk Smash or whatever. It's like destroy target non-creature artifact. We found that it was a little too punishing if artifact creature ended up just being too big a drawback. And I don't think I said inventor was sort of the
Tony Stark built this deck in a cave with a box of
let's
scraps.
keep moving on. We move on to Kang, Temporal Tyrant in blue-black. So this archetype is draw 2 cards a turn. Of course, it has that connive ability whenever Kang attacks, and whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses life and you gain a life. Dave, tell us about the blue-black archetype.
Yeah, so the blue-black archetype is all about drawing
Grim
2
Fairy
more
Tale,
cards a
the
turn,
OG stream
specifically 2 cards a turn.
is on
Connive
Twitch,
just directly
but
leads into
if you
that. When
want, you
play
can
this,
just run
when
this
you
video
attack with
back.
him,
We've
you
covered
will be,
everything from the
barring
start.
something really
And
unusual,
then we're
you
going to
will be
go through it
drawing
at the end
your
as well.
second card in that turn. So yeah, that is what we were playing up here. Connive feeds wonderfully into it. And enables it very easily. I mean, there are a lot of other, like what we call cantrips or whatever, cards that draw a card when you cast them, things like that are also more plentiful in these colors, to make sure you can do that. Everybody likes drawing cards. Mastermind feel was what I was going for here. Again, Masterminds you'd expect to be drawing cards and
You're welcome.
I think in some level, drawing cards, conniving, all this meshes well and was a great match for Kang.
Yeah. Well, when we look back at Constructed Cosmic Cube, that looks
Oh,
like
thank you,
rare
Food Time,
payoffs
for letting
this
people know about
I
the
don't know
Discord.
how loud I was about it, but
And thank you, Paige,
a lot
for
of the
posting.
plans are taking some of the kind of the inputs.
Been
that
trying to
we're
get 'em
looking for
all.
with some of the color
I might have
pairs, so
missed
they're
one or
not
two,
just
but-
some of them are a little
You're
more
doing pretty
sideways,
good,
but a lot
huh?
of them are these are things that will work well with things you're already trying to do in the set, and it's good that we want as I mentioned, I think plans are most in a little bit more extra in blue and black, so having it tie into those helps bring that deck together if you want to play with plans.
Okay. And Mark, I mean, Kang is a great exemplar for blue-black, but I feel like blue-black and villains, there's a lot of smart, scheming villains. How'd you land on Kang representing?
Well, I mean, one of the things we tried in a lot of our the signposts is just as iconic as we could get.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a bunch of lists. I mean, you're correct. We had a bunch of options for blue-black.
Yeah.
Some of the ones we had less options, but blue-black we had a couple options. But I don't know, Kang seems like this is an Avenger set, and there are a few more iconic Avenger villains than Kang.
Yep, that makes sense. All right, we're going to stay in the world of villains for our next preview card. We have Killmonger, Scourge of Wakanda. So this is one of the early pieces of art we showed off. So Killmonger is a human mercenary villain, a 3/3 for 2 black and a green.
Yes,
Killmonger
smash
is
the like
sacrifice
button.
Another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent.
Just go down and click any button, actually.
More creature cards in your
Like,
graveyard,
subscribe, any
Killmonger
of the
gets
buttons.
+2/+1. So Dave, what is
That's the
what
Precious
is this
Kitty,
archetype?
yes.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, so I mean, this great, like most specifically, the 2 or more creature cards in your graveyard is the thing that we're loudest about. I mean, more generally speaking, yeah, having more than 2 creature cards, also cards that will reward you for that.
Nice RPT, that's what I'm talking about.
Themes like green, black,
yeah, report button, any of the buttons,
sort of
whatever you think.
Not that one.
Again, the case here.
I mean, it's up to you to figure it out.
A lot of this is more just like, trying to come up with a cool representation for him. This was like probably the hardest one to find like a consistent grouping with. Like we sort of Reclaimer is kind of the
green black.
How we classified this, but yeah, there's like some sense of like righting wrongs or avenging the past, or avenging's maybe a loaded word there, but yeah. Right, there's some sense of like
this card is so good. It's got Ravenous Chupacabra vibes.
What is their motivations, and that felt like, especially for Killmonger, sort of drawing from the past or ancestry, also felt like a good match.
Yep.
And certainly the color pairs were.
Except it's like non-land permanent is just.
And one thing I'll stress is not
so
obviously
strong.
We get some sort of Avenger-ish villains, but also a lot of the characters the associated with the Avengers have their own individual villains, and so we hit a lot of those as well. I mean, Killmonger honestly is.
Killmonger seems like a really fun commander to build around, because you can run a lot of like undying creatures and creatures that come back. Like reassembling skeleton comes to mind, and then you can clean up the pesky things on the board, like the Rhystic Studies and the Smothering Tides.
Flying vigilance, prowess, double prowess there.
Yeah, prowess is maybe, the double prowess is maybe us being a little indulgent, but yeah, it just felt fun. I mean, I don't know,
maybe us being a little indulgent.
Ridiculous, like his estimation of himself.
5'9", what up? Good to see you.
Yeah, prowess
Venom, what's up? Good to see you.
More specifically, or less specifically, I should say, like non-creature spells is what this color pair is about. Right, prowess is just one expression of that, and
like equipment.
Yeah, equipment. Yes, yeah. Thanks for.
No, you can't blink in Golgari, but I was kind of thinking about it from the perspective of playing Carador, which is like a reanimator kind of thing.
Equipment to matter here and be buffing your creatures. There's a lot of stuff with this color pair. Like this is again kind of hard to get to one word thing, but like sort of.
Oh my God, food time! Yeah, this Thor is pretty good. I really like this lineup of uncommon superheroes that they're giving us here.
Red and white is also, I feel like, definitely a
lot of fun uncommon commanders. Yeah.
Heavily in red and white. Okay. There are also nods to like the like original usage of heroic in our game was when you target your own creature.
Yep.
With an instant or sorcery, we have sort of a more broad, whenever you target, like rather than that specific creature with heroic, you can target any of your creatures with a spell. Is sort of a nod to heroic here. That's kind of fun, and just also ties into like why you would want to do non-creature.
Christopher, no Scarlet Witch that we have seen yet. 5'9", Paul. Was there a Scarlet Witch?
Which is tricky in a set where we're like really heavily invested on making sure all these legendary creatures are awesome.
There was one?
Trying to carve out the space
never mind.
Of like, why
she was early. Got it.
And sorcery is going to be cool here too.
Yeah.
And equipment.
And
plans.
Thor is good if you put Mjolnir on him.
Just in case you weren't certain if that was going to happen. That's going to happen in this set. All right. Last draft archetype, number 10. We've got Madam Hydra representing villains here. 2 black and a red, human villain.
I love red, black, and green.
Whenever you cast a villain spell, create a 2/1 black villain creature token with menace. Dave.
Yeah, so black-red is about villains. So yeah, this is kind of the counterpart to what we saw in green-white. This is your
no, black-red is not about villains. It's about having a good time, living fast, dying young.
Kind of the more chaotic, villainous characters live, and what's more chaotic than having a whole bunch of villains trying to work together?
They work together in the comics.
Right, but yeah, often in more chaotic ways, yes. So yeah, this is pretty much straightforward.
Smoking cigars, Rakdos, that's right, eating rare steak. Keep them coming.
I will say it's fun. Yes. It's fun. One of my favorite things about playing in the limited is just getting all these characters that you enjoy and mixing and matching them in fun ways, and just that's super fun for me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that is our overview of the 10 limited archetypes. Those are the signpost uncommons. Of course, as we go through previews, we'll reveal more commons and uncommons to fit into those archetypes, and of course the rares as well. But for now, we are going to move on to some booster fun cards. So
Oh, booster fun.
of cards that you've already seen. Some of them will be new, but they are all going to be some of the fancy treatments that you're going to be able to find either in play boosters or collector boosters. If you are curious about where any of these treatments show up, the two best ways to find that out is to go to dailymtg.com. There's two different articles. There's one called Collecting Marvel Superheroes. That's going to have the detailed breakdown of where everything is, what everything is.
5'9", you're not
and
wrong.
how often you can find it in different places. And then also the card image gallery. You can look at a card and look at the treatment, and then it'll show you exactly what products it shows up in. But a lot of these are incredibly cool, and we're going to start off with some of the coolest
I like
ones.
Mara's shirt,
The
too,
scene
with
cards.
the
So we
arc
saw
reactor
these
over
in
there.
I think we saw these. Anyway, Fantastic Four scene here. We have 4 uncommon cards. Dave, how are you describing these before the show? Kind of like...
Yeah, they're like the fifth on stations a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like Victoria Sperling that was on the set design team, and we were like, what do we want the Fantastic Four to do? And she had pitched like how about.
Well,
they
Venom,
work
you're
like
getting
those,
ready
and
for
then,
Star
right,
Trek
from
too.
there we all
You're
work on them
preparing.
together, right? So let's run through this, right? So Mr. Fantastic, whenever a token enters, you may draw a card. Let's look at Human Torch. Whenever you draw a card, you know, if you have another hero, which was sort of for balance, we got a little bit nervous with like some sort of infinite easy loops just with 2 cards. You are dealing a damage. And then let's jump down to the thing. Whenever a hero you control deals damage to a player, put counters on the thing. And then, well, that leaves us with Invisible One. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a hero, you can create a 0/4 wall creature token with Defender, which then feeds back into Mr. Fantastic that whenever you create a token, you draw a card. So if somebody ever assembles this in a game, please send me some screenshots or tell me the story. This is actually, like, to the best of my knowledge, not necessarily ever happened. I do know I put in you may draw a card, realizing that you might not have enough cards to kill your opponent, might want to stop the loop at some point. So yeah, these are meant to create a very flavorful loop with each other. I'm looking forward to some fun stories about that, especially in draft, but also in constructed. But yeah, I thought this was clever. We have Torch. Torch has a power up that feeds a little bit cross-talk with Invisible Woman, just to get some of these also interacting on the edges a little bit better. But yeah, I found this super charming, and again, I think the flavor on, in general, what each of these is doing on their output and is especially flavorful. I mean, I know like Mr. Fantastic in a vacuum might look a little bit odd on like, why does he care about tokens? But drawing a card's great for him, and it's not that hard to hand wave the tokens being, you know, many tokens we've made.
Well, he does inventions and stuff, and lots of artifacts of tokens.
I mean, the thing is Mr. Fantastic also works well in any type of treasure-centric, artifact-centric thing as well.
We have multiple subject matter experts. Is we would do passes on the file and just make notes. So, for example, a Visible Woman originally made a white 0/4 wall.
Sure.
And my note was, no, it has to be colorless. It's invisible, you know. And it's like, it doesn't functionally have a lot of, you know, the wall was the wall, but it's those little tiny details that just show that, you know, like, we do care. A lot of people in the building, very much fans of the property. We want to represent as best we can. And so it's the little tiny detail work like that, to me, that's really important.
Yep. Well, and I also want to call out here, and Mark, we were talking a little bit about the art and the artists before the show.
Yeah.
So, you know, we use a lot of magic artists that we've used over and over again, but like in this scene, we also used a lot of Marvel comic artists.
Yeah, so one of the things they did in the artists is they had a goal. They wanted to go out to actual people that, you know, have done Marvel art and have a certain amount of our set done by people who've actually done Marvel art.
Yeah.
And we exceeded our goal. So many of them were so excited to do magic cards. So yeah, some of your favorite current artists you might see on Magic Card, which is really exciting. And for some of them, the very first time they've ever been on a Magic Card.
Yep.
And as we will get to, there's some not current artists we'll get to.
There are some not current artists as well, but these are current these are current Marvel artists who did this piece here. Also, I believe, definitely check the collecting article, but there are going to be scene cards that show up in play boosters. These will not just be in collector boosters. There's going to be some back and forth. We also have the main set versions of these 4 cards that we can put up as well. So same
here we
cycle.
go.
These are the versions that you'll be seeing when they are not Except that's a play promo, Mr. Fantastic. There, that is not the play. That is not the play or the draft version. That is a promo. That's okay. You'll be able to see the uncommon version in the card image gallery, and we'll talk about that play promo later. Actually, all right.
That play promo's like, what's up? How's it going?
Let's move on to another treatment, the bold logo treatment.
Everybody, thank you so much. We have about 200 people watching right now, so we really appreciate you spending your time with us today.
Crime.
And I really like this treatment as well. It is very much like the Final Fantasy kind of frame that they did.
About that in a moment. Whenever you attack, you may pay 2 life. If you do until end of turn, creatures you control with toughness greater than their power assign combat damage equal to their toughness rather than their power. Mark, this has extort.
Yeah, so one of the things we do,
this is
fun.
fun.
We call them cameos. Look, Magic has a rich history of really exciting mechanics. And for a while, the rule was either you're evergreen or you're the mechanic for the set. But we started putting cameos into commander decks, and they were just super flavorful.
Yeah.
So we finally decided, you know what? We don't want to do too much of it. Mostly it's on rare and mythic rares. But if there's a flavorful word that just makes perfect sense, and for example, for Kingpin, extort, that is the Kingpin in a nutshell. And so it just was such a perfect thing.
Yeah.
We do have 2 other versions.
So it's like extort is just popping up on this one card.
Set, rare with that reminder text. That middle one is going to be in part of a scene.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And the one thing I want to say, just the topography,
do you want me to turn off chat?
In Marvel, most of which have appeared on comics, have their own logo. And so we're getting to see their logo, which is to me really cool.
Extort in the command zone is dope.
Yeah. Because they are so visual. Like one of the things in general is they were an amazing partner to work with because they're all about visuals. They work in a visual medium.
Yeah.
So they're just, as we'll see here, there's just so many opportunities to do cool, evocative things because we're working with somebody who, that's what they do. They do cool visuals.
Yep. All right. Well, let's keep going. We're going to move on to another bold logo card. This is King T'Challa and Black Panther Hope Enduring. Saw this card earlier, but this is the bold logo version.
Oh, interesting.
It looks very cool.
And some of these, by the way, some of these treatments, the screen doesn't even do them justice. When you actually see them in your hand, they look amazing. I mean, you get some sense of what they look like, but they look even cooler when you actually see them in person.
Yes, absolutely. All right, our next treatment we're going to talk about is the comic panel treatment, which we have seen for sagas. So this is Armor Wars.
Yeah, I mean, this
made
makes
little
the most
story of Armor
sense to
Wars
just
here.
do this
so
the way that they do. It's a
we
perfect
did a
pairing
hackathon
with the
before we
comic
even started
panels.
doing Marvel, where we were just brainstorming on things we could do with Marvel. And in that meeting, I forget who came up. Somebody came up with the idea of what if we made the sagas look like comic book frames?
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And somebody suggested, we're doing that. And so that's something you'll see again in Marvel superheroes. And it's just fun that you get to see the evolution of the story. In Armor Wars, for example, Tony Stark finds out that somebody has given away some of his secret armor. And so
I never liked these treatments.
It's
a me
see the
thing.
actual story being played out on the card.
Yep, I believe that's Crimson Dynamo.
I think that they
there.
work.
Yeah, very cool, very cool.
I've
All
just
right,
never really been a
let's
big
take look
fan
at
of
another
sagas
comic
in
panel
general.
Card here.
But I do understand what they're doing.
This is Secret Invasion. It's one of my favorite comic storybook lines of all time. This one's not a saga, but it's still got that comic panel look. For 1 blue and a blue, enchant creature you control when this aura enters. Exile up to 1 target creature other than enchanted creature until this aura leaves the battlefield. Note that you can exile any creature, including ones your opponents control. Enchanted creature becomes a copy of that creature until this aura leaves the battlefield. We got the Queen kidnapping Spider-Woman here and becoming her. And then enchanted creature has Ward 2.
One of the things, so for those that might not know the comic story,
Highlander
there was a
hipster.
whole
Sorry,
series
haven't
they
been
did,
able to stop and been
where
too busy at
the
work.
Skrulls
No
were
worries. We
shapechangers,
appreciate you popping in.
Took over some of the
thanks for
characters.
stopping
But you, the
by.
audience, didn't know what characters were secret agents, and obviously Spider-Woman turned out to be a Skrull. But this card just the flavor of the idea that you get to displace something else so that you can become them.
Highlander hipster says, "Look what they've done with my poor game."
Absolutely. All right. let's move on.
What, just that it's like an amalgam of so many different IPs at this point.
Version as well. You can see all the scrolls becoming the various superheroes.
Someone was like, "Hey, can you tell me about Magic the Gathering?"
Okay.
And I sent them an
Next up,
IMDb link to The
cover.
Blob,
So this is
and
one
I
of
was like,
the
"It's
most
pretty much
popular
like this
treatments we've
movie."
ever done.
Super cool.
It's super cool. And Mark, you were noting earlier again about not current artists.
Oh, yes.
Having
So-
Jack Kirby on a card is
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, so one of the things that's really fun is we
It's
took
the
a bunch
Blob.
of characters
Oh,
and
yeah.
we said, okay, what is an iconic cover of that character? And then we carefully crafted to
Gabriel,
mimic
I
the
will
actual
likely,
card in the cover. But if you
target
compare this to
singles,
the actual cover,
but-
I mean, they're so awesome.
Yeah, these are,
Knowing
these are,
that
like,
there
my
are
favorite too.
only
I remember the first time I saw these and I
150
didn't
or
even,
less
like,
of
get
the
it right.
Mind
It's like, no,
Stone
that's, like, the text
does
you
make me
made.
think
It's
that
like,
having a collector box or two is probably kind of
If
safe.
you go and look at the originals, our
If you're
artist did
keeping
such a
those
great job.
sealed.
It's really amazing. And as you said, one of the neat
I'm
things
going to be making a
is,
video about
like, one of the
like,
things we share in common, that Wizards and
some
Marvel
of the
share in
collector
common is
boxes.
We love great art.
Like,
You know,
I know
work
we
with
all
amazing
see it.
artists,
There's a
and
collector
that,
box that's on its way to being
A lot of the
$10,000.
current artists came and made Magic cards for us.
We're gonna
but
talk about
some
that
of
kind
them,
of stuff.
sadly, are not around anymore. But the fact that we still can capture their art and get it on Magic cards, just as a longtime Marvel fan, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, there's going to be a number of these, and every one of them is so cool.
They're very cool.
Yeah.
Next up,
It's wild
basic
that we have a
lands. Basic
collector
lands
box in
are
Magic
cool
the
and
Gathering
awesome.
that's on its way to 10K.
Here we have some. These are going to be some of the basic lands that you will get in packs.
I think there's 2 cycles here.
Yeah, there's like Helicarrier flying around, and then just some more iconic places.
Oh, we should stress, by the way, there are some scenes that take place in New York. Obviously, New York is the center of the things. But this set is across the whole globe.
Sure.
You're seeing Wakanda, the Savage Land. You're seeing
see Atlantis up there,
Right.
yeah.
So you are seeing things from all over the globe. So I mean, there's some nods to New York, obviously, but it is a global set.
Yeah.
Yep,
Those
there's
are some
Spider-Man
basic
on
lands.
that
All right,
forest.
next up,
yeah.
we have a very cool partnership with Marvel on this set, of course, but it's not limited to just this set. We got some Marvel in our Magic cards. We got some Magic cards in their Marvel as well. So some of you may have already seen some of these come out, but we had some comic books that have alternate art featuring cards from some Magic cards, and we are going to show off a few of these today. So these 4 cards are Jumpstart cards. So Marvel has a Jumpstart component. Marvel Superheroes has a Jumpstart component, and some of those made it onto comic books, and so we have a few of them to show off here. The first one is the Fantastic Four. So this one actually is from the Commander deck, not the Jumpstart product.
So
But,
sans black here.
This shows all 4 on the same card.
Yeah, one of the things that's fun, because some of the classic characters we get to do more than once, like you obviously saw us do the individual Fantastic Four, we like, one of the things we get all the time is people want to see more 4-color cards, and like we said, each one of them embodied one of the 4 color, 4 or 5 colors. So it is a wonderful opportunity to make a card that's a collection of all of them.
Yeah, well, and I love the use of 4 in this card. When it enters, whenever you cast it. And we're going to, by the way, next week's Weekly MTG, we are going to go through and reveal the entire Fantastic Four Commander deck. We're going to talk about that whole entire deck, so we're not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I love how this, because I remember when someone saw this earlier, they said, wait, why does it deal 3 damage? Well, because first you create a 4 toughness wall.
It was very smart of them to make pre-con commander decks with this set. I feel like with every Universes Beyond product, you probably want to do that if it's possible.
There's some charming ones left to see.
Yeah,
and it's a 4/4.
And it's
Yeah, it's just kind of like a toolbox card, right? It's just like a catch-all, like it just does whatever.
Okay, so if I'm wrong, I'm
It's
wrong.
kind of fun.
The card image gallery will know
but
better.
it doesn't really have
All
like a
right,
specific
next up,
direction.
we
It's
have-
like
it might be a jumpstart
a
card. You're right, I
trading
have this labeled
post
as jumpstart.
almost.
I may just be jumping ahead.
Could we talk real quick about Jumpstart?
Yes, please.
So one of the things
while he talks about
that was
Jumpstart,
really
I'm going to use the
fun
restroom
is,
really quick.
There's a lot. Marvel has so many characters, and there's so much stuff to capture. And obviously, we're doing multiple sets.
Yeah.
But the Jumpstart really, while I talk about this set being more Avengers focused, The Jumpstart is really lots of different things.
Yeah.
And there are packets that go in all sorts of different places. I think what we just saw was there's a Mythic Rare Fantastic Four packet. And really, one of the things that I had fun with is there's stuff that I didn't know where else it went. And Daniel was the lead designer for it. And I would say to Daniel, like, oh, can we do this? Oh, can we do that? And I would convince him to do things that I just didn't know where else we'd put them. And so there's a lot of really fun things in the Jumpstart. There's a lot of things you'll recognize, but there's also some deep cuts for the Marvel fans out there that we try to find a home for as many different characters as we could.
Yeah, and I was wrong. I was going off the MSC. In my head, I said Commander because MSC. It's got the same 3-letter code as Commander, but it is Jumpstart. Okay, so let's take a look at 3 more of these cards. We've got Iron Man Bleeding Edge. 3 blue and a blue for a 3/5 human hero, legendary artifact creature, flying. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. Do this only once each turn.
And I believe this is part of an artifact-themed packet.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Dark Ritual. So for those who saw this end up on the internet, this is a Jumpstart card. Dark Ritual.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's super fun is taking classic Magic things and then adding in the Marvel touch. Like,
it's so obvious here. Like, this is,
Like, who should be doing a Dark Ritual in the Marvel Universe? Well, I got a good idea.
Probably Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom seems like a fine choice.
Baby.
All right, and then we have Hitmonkey.
Oh, wow. When I leave, the viewers go up.
So like I said, one of the things that's fun is Hitmonkey had his own comic. He's definitely sort of a cult character. Like, we wanted to find places for, like, if you love the Marvel Universe, we're looking for all sorts of the fun things and places. I think he's part of a animal-themed packet. So anyway, we go deep.
We go deep.
We got Hitmonkey. We worried we wouldn't get Hitmonkey. We got Hitmonkey.
It's a monkey assassin, because of course it is, and the flavor text from Deadpool is fantastic there.
He has no superpowers. He's just an assassin.
He's just an assassin with reach, vigilance, death touch, hexproof, and haste. All the things. All right, our next section, source material cards. This is one of my favorite things we do.
These are super cool.
They're so cool. They all use art from the source, from Marvel Comics over the years, so we're going to see some really nostalgic stuff. But we also have this.
This is kind of a big deal here, chat. You're going to want to pay attention to this part.
Print those mechanically unique secret layer cards that we put out.
Pretty big deal.
A year and a half ago.
A while ago,
Yeah.
It's the very first thing we did for Marvel.
Here it is. It was the very first thing we did with Marvel. So
Crazy.
these are all using source material art. So the art is different than the secret layer versions, but the mechanics are the same. So this is where they are going to show up.
I had a feeling this is going to happen.
If you missed those the first time around, here's your next chance. And these are all really cool, interesting designs as well.
And all 5 of these characters do show up in the set on other cards in the set.
Yes.
These are all 5 characters from the set.
Yep. And again, it's worth noting, source material
Yeah,
cards
so
are not
just
gonna
think
be
about
standard
how
level,
that
but they will
storm
be
is going to look in foil.
Eternal formats, including.
Oh, baby.
So, yep. These are coming back. You're going to be able to open these up in booster packs.
5/9,
Right,
because
let's
the
start
art
going
is
down
different.
The list. Next up, we have
It's not
Concerted
as
Effort, Final
much
Showdown,
of a
and
disappointment, but I
Light of
do
Promise. Now, Dave,
absolutely
my
see your
understanding is,
perspective.
You helped pick a lot of these.
Yeah, I was in a meeting where
Yeah, it's like for me, this frame with no borders at all is not like my favorite. I still prefer the secret layer version.
We had like, you know,
but
a screen of just like,
I know the art's
what are
cool. I just don't
all
like
the
the
best
frame.
choices for art that we can show on our cards.
And I think other people share that too.
You know, at the same time, there was also like, I've, you know, kind of gone through like what are some of the best names that we can use and trying to like figure out how they match together. And so I definitely like probably about half of these cards actually like
yeah, because we're not getting like reprints of those cards, right? It's like there's still those things about the secret layer that are important, and we'll talk about all of this because, like I said, I know this has been a long stream, but we are going to go back through and at least skim and talk about each of the cards.
Right, it just like this really looks like a final.
Yeah,
showdown,
Zach.
Right?
Yes.
And you know, just even in terms of like the text matching well with the art here.
Yeah.
Other things like Extinction Event was another one we saw. Like, I guess we've
That
seen.
one was
right,
so perfect. That's why we showed that
even
early.
Like, oh, and then like, you know, and then I'll use that also in the main.
It's the
set
final showdown.
A lot of these are fun. Like Light of Promise, just also felt like a really good match. Like both mechanically with Captain Marvel in the main set, as well as just being a fun card in general for those decks.
Yeah, so for the Marvel fans out there, you can sort of see this is a good example of, look, we went through the history. Like the one on the left, that's Fantastic Four #1, right? That's we're going all the way back to the '60s, where the Captain Marvel thing is from maybe a decade ago. So like we're really hitting from different spots and like trying to get really what are the fun images from across time.
All right, let's take a look. We've got a bunch of these, so we're going to go 3 by 3. Next up, we have Return to the Ranks, Steel Shaper's Gift, and T'Challa's Protection. Also
That's a T-Pro over there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I know here, the first 3 had normal
So
names.
they're just giving
We
us a
did
ton of
use
this.
The alternate name for
For anybody who doesn't know,
I think it's most fun if like the name just happens to work out. But yeah, it's like
Paige, have ambassador status has been spoiled for this set yet?
Cards have names that are not
Not
really
yet.
super
Okay.
generically usable anywhere,
Maybe at
just
the
because
end.
we
I
put
don't know.
the names have
Got it.
places and characters and whatnot that are hard to use. But we know that they're still really fun and popular cards that people want to get their hands on, and it is also really fun to see. I mean, we've done this.
Is it in Jumpstart? No, I do not believe they're showing us stuff from Jumpstart right now.
Marvel branding.
And it's fun. I mean,
I think 3 of those cards were.
from the fan side of things.
Oh, is it?
Like,
Oh.
so the
Well, then maybe I'm
that's-
wrong.
that's,
Rich, the
Avengers
Iron
4,
Man,
where
and
Captain
the
America
Hit
gets
Monkey,
thawed out of
I
ice and joins the Avengers.
Oh, those were Jumpstart. Yes.
Classic comics.
Yeah, no, these are currently they're showing
All
us the
right,
source
next
material
3,
card.
We have Counterspell, Mechanized Production, and Reconnaissance Mission. If you can't tell, we're going in Wooburg order here. So we have a Counterspell featuring some fantastic Iron Man art. Mechanized Production there in the middle.
So what
with
they're
all the
doing here
Ultrons,
is for
very
people
on
that are going to
point.
build the Iron Man deck,
Reconnaissance
they're giving you a
Mission,
whole
Nick
bunch
Fury
of,
doing his spot thing.
Iron Man skins of popular cards that are going to go in that deck, which is cool.
Yeah, that Iron Man art is some of my favorite art of Iron Man.
Also, you'll notice that some of this art comes from covers, and we did a really good job of working with Marvel to like take all the words off and get the clean version of the art, which is really cool.
Yeah, and the flavor on this, again, Dave picking ones that just fit.
Yeah, no, yeah. The Mechanized Production and Reconnaissance Mission, I think were at least partially my doing. Counterspell was not. I remember, I think it might have been like Zakil or somebody's like, I really want the 3-point stance, and it's like, I can buy it for Counterspell.
All right, next up we have Final Act, No Mercy, and Fiery Emancipation.
RPT says, I want more retro frames for my sliver
Get some
deck.
Kirby, some Alex Ross.
RPT?
Really cool art here.
I mean,
I
again,
don't want to
seeing
be the
things
bearer
like
of
Alex
bad
Ross
news.
on a Magic card. And that's the original
It might not
Human
be the
Torch
set
there
for
on
that.
the right, which is really cool.
Just-
Final
just
Act,
a small
of course,
chance.
we're seeing Galactus coming to take everything.
Yeah. These are classic old covers. Too often.
These are amazing.
But
All right, next up, we're going to see Monstrous Rage.
slivers are not
Seize the
canon
Day,
in the Marvel
and
universe?
Bedlam. These are all cool, but that Daredevil art in the middle there is so good.
Yeah, no, these are great. Yeah, Monstrous Rage, I felt bad that I didn't come up with this one. Yeah, this is just like a perfect fit for...
That Monstrous Rage art.
Monstrous Rage we just got in Secrets of
Timely
Strixhaven.
too. Red Hulk's about to have a big arc.
Yep. And we got Heroes for Hire, so that's always fun. It's on the street level characters.
All right, let's move into green and see Beast Within, Primal Vigor, and Steely Resolve here.
Yeah, Primal
Beast
Vigor.
Within with that grim fate name.
That's awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Then we'll keep with green, move a little into gold. We've got Unnatural Growth, Anthem of Champions, and Escape to the Wilds. We got double Alex Ross.
We do.
Page. Yeah, that Escape to the Wilds is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, the one for left is one of my favorite Alex Ross comics. So.
And Unnatural Growth, of course, is just a perfect fit there.
Yeah, I think that one we had like very early on with a lot of people suggesting the same thing.
All right, next up, we've got our final 4 cards for today. That is not all of the source material cards. It is just the final 4 we are showing off today. So we've got Privileged Position with She-Hulk doing her legal thing over there. Ravenous Tyrannosaurus, Sundering Growth, and Warlord's Call.
So we got John Byrne's run of She-Hulk.
So that Tyrannosaurus, is that what's currently wreaking havoc in Rivals?
Very cool. All right, so that is all the source material that we are showing off today. We still have a couple things to reveal. So promos, we promised promos earlier. So we're going to take a look at some of the promos you're going to be able to get coming up and how you'll be able to get them.
That's
First
OG
up,
Devil
we
Dino.
have
Okay,
the
cool.
standard Showdown Dark Deed. So this is 1 and a black for an instant. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn, featuring Dr. Doom.
So this is like a better Grasp of Darkness, is it not?
At your local game store.
So Grasp of Darkness is 2 black. This is a 1 and a black.
Or while supplies last, playing in the standard Showdown. Next up, the Magic Presents promo. This is Hellcat, Undying Vigilante. Green and a green for a 2/2. Haste. When Hellcat dies, return to the battlefield under owner's control with a +1/+counter. He loses all abilities and gains haste. So this is a new card. Let's talk about Hellcat here, Mark.
Yeah, if you ever watched Jessica Jones, you might not even know you know this character, but she was on Jessica Jones, although she didn't dress up as Hellcat.
Nope.
Yeah, this is, like I said, one of the things that we really like to do is we're doing all the characters that you know, but for Marvel fans, we're doing a lot of the other characters as well. And Hellcat is a good example of a famous character that's not quite at the level of maybe Iron Man or something, but you know, we've captured them as well. And there's a lot of your favorite Avengers and Avengers-associated characters are in this set.
Yeah.
I like the art and the colors on
next
this
up,
one.
We've got a couple of promos for Commander Party and Two-Headed Giant Commander Knight, again, at your local game store. This is Echo Perceptive Prodigy. 2 and a blue for a 1/4 Vigilance. 1 and tap. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. From a creature source, you may choose new targets for the copy.
Hope so, food time.
Really flavorful.
Yes, I should point out, by the way, we have the comic license. That is what we are doing. Echo, the TV show Echo, has a different power set than the comic book Echo. The comic book Echo can copy people's abilities by watching them.
Yeah.
That is what the card is representing. So most of the time, the stuff you see in the TV movies are the same. There's a few slightly differences. Ms. Marvel's another one that we capture she's in the comics and not in TV movies. But yeah, Echo is a really fun character, a Native American character. And anyway, she's a super cool character.
Absolutely. All right, and then here's that Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards. Oh, look, and there's the main set version. The main set version there is on the left, and the promo version for Commander Party and Two-Headed Giant Commander Knight. Again, check with your local game store for how you can get these promos. Either way, he's very stretchy.
I like his little legs all the way around.
And then we've got 2 final promos. This is Quicksilver Brash Blur.
Cool.
This is the Pro Tour promo that you will get for playing on the Pro Tour. We showed this one off back in December, but you know, Mark and Dave have got you two here. So the design of this card is insanely cool.
Yeah, I mean, so Quicksilver obviously is a speedster, and so there's a lot of fun ways of how do you represent speed in Magic. So I love the idea that he's so fast, he's there before the game begins, sort of.
Right, yeah. I mean, just, I forget at what point, I mean, yeah, the sort of the ley line text, we call it. Like
You know what they have to do? They have to, like, it's a slow drip. They give us a good bit, and then you gotta get through this week.
Double strike counter, I know that, like, I think, like, in negotiating rates with play design, I think they're like, oh, well,
I'm
maybe
whelmed.
this rate if he only has first strike, and I'm like, no, like, if there's any character that should have double strike, even, you know, like, I feel like, right, a lot of it is just matching, like, who would most have this ability, or who would most have that ability, and really wanted to settle on double strike here.
All right, and
I
then
think the set
for
looks good,
Magic
too.
Spotlight. If you attend a Magic Spotlight event, we are going to have this Electra Daughter of the Hand promo. 2 black and a black for a human
sneak.
ninja villain, of course.
Sneak.
Type line is perfect. 3/3 with sneak When Electra enters, destroy target creature an opponent controls with power 3 or less. I'm assuming this is this the only sneak card?
Only example of sneak.
Yeah,
we felt. I mean, there was actually a lot of debate over whether we would use ninjutsu here. It just felt better to line it up with cards that were going to already be in standard.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool because the sneak mechanic just came out, and now we're getting more sneak.
It works perfectly. All right. Finally, before we go, we are going to show off some welcome decks, some welcome deck cards. So there are going to be 5 welcome decks. These are meant as introductory points for people who maybe have never played Magic before, or maybe played once, or are just showing up at a convention and are like, hey, what's this cool thing with Iron Man on it? So these are going to be the 5 face cards.
Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1 whenever Iron Man attacks. If you control an artifact creature, draw a card. I mean, like, that's still really good, though.
People's first introduction to playing Magic, and in this case, first introduction.
Spider-Man Double Strike, Haste.
Superheroes. So
whenever he attacks, target creature can't block this turn. What? That Spider-Man is so good.
Game store. So keep an eye out for these, especially for your friends who are maybe big Marvel fans but have never tried Magic before. These are great introductory points.
Cool.
All right, and then one last thing to show off. So we have an
one last thing.
suite of creators who love talking about Magic and love showing you kinds of amazing things that they put together.
Who's on there right in the middle?
These are our creators
Who's that right there?
for Marvel superheroes that are going to be creating amazing content.
And for anybody who doesn't know, we also have a preview card as well. So
partner, or you can just go straight to their profiles.
That is correct.
And they're going to be making cool stuff all throughout the Marvel superheroes period. Check them out. I recognize a couple of these names from people who are in chat right now. So thanks for being here. Thank you all for being here. Thanks to Mark and Dave for walking us through this incredible set. We have a lot of previews still coming up for Marvel
What's that,
Superheroes.
5'9"?
And this
I
weekend,
may or may not have. Who knows?
happening where a lot of the creators on that screen will be at an event.
Our preview
and
is
we'll be
on the
showing off
5th,
more cards.
Jank.
More previews are to come. There's going to be a lot of
Probably
cool
in the
stuff
morning
coming.
sometime.
Next week, as I said on Weekly MTG, we are going to show off the Fantastic Four Commander deck, which is super cool. We're going to show off the whole deck.
I miss playing
Commander
poker.
decks are going to be coming next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as well as some other things. But thank you all for tuning in. Check out the rest of the internet for previews, and we'll see you next week.
Check out the rest of the internet for previews. Okay, so we can kind of like go back here, and if anything does start, oh no. Hold on. Give me just a second, chat.
Yep. All right. She is sneaky. She is definitely amazing things. Thanks for being.
Not stop.
Okay, so starts.
Of like the power up moment.
Okay, let's go back through really quick because I want to talk about some of these cards. I know there's a lot of folks that are that want to go back over some of this stuff, so let's do that. Let's catch up with chat here really quick. I want to see how everybody is feeling after that, after getting to see kind of the preview that we have going on today. RPT says, did Rosewater promote his game at the start? I have a bingo. No, I don't think he did. I don't. I think today was all about Marvel. We have just kind of annoying that they showed Squirrel Girl in the promo for today's live, and we got nothing about her, but otherwise they showed quite a lot of cool cards. Yeah, I would say, just give them time to release the rest of the spoilers. I have a feel Squirrel Girl will be some sort of insane chase. No, don't ever apologize for the jokes. It's all good. Cards look good, but where's my Daredevil? I cry. Yeah, like I said, we just gotta go through a little bit more more patience. Paige, what were your thoughts on it?
Sorry, I'm trying to post at the same time here.
Oh, no worries.
That was a lot more cards than I thought they were going to show, so that's cool.
That was a lot. That was a lot. So they showed us a lot of stuff today.
I like the cycle of uncommon legendary creatures for draft.
Mm-hmm.
And the archetypes. That was cool to see. I like I forget what they called it, but that frame with their names behind the art.
Yes.
Forget what it was called. Bold something.
Uh-huh.
And with the actual covers of the comic books. Those are cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Thanos one's pretty sick.
I like that Mulliner has equip worthy. A creature is worthy if it's a legendary non-villain that's red and or white. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Did they not show the entire card? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is pretty sick. Paige, are you streaming from a library? Says 5'9".
Am I quiet?
No, you sound pretty good to me. But maybe I need to turn up the desktop audio for folks a little bit here. Chat, if they start spoiling things elsewhere, just let me know. Otherwise, we're going to go through here. We have this really fun equipment. When it enters, it deals 4 damage to up to 1 target creature, which is cool, just simply by entering. And then double all damage equipped creature would deal, which means that that's going to be different than double strike, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like that they gave it that, so you can have both.
Yeah, yeah. And then also equip worthy if a creature is worthy if it's a legendary non-villain that's red and or white. 2 and a red, discard this card. It deals 2 damage to each creature. I like this card. In Magic the Gathering, I feel like this card is fantastic. You're going to get kind of the opinions of these cards from somebody who is not a Marvel super fan. Like I was talking about in the beginning of the stream, I like a lot of the Marvel stuff. Some of it I don't like. Some of it does not feel fleshed out. Some of it feels like it's chock full of plot holes. But some of it is extremely, extremely good. And I like what I like. So I'm coming into this with just kind of like, as a Magic the Gathering fan and somebody who appreciates some Marvel stuff, I'm just going to give you my thoughts on these cards. So they're not going to be like through the rose-colored glasses of just like, oh my God, everything that comes out by Marvel is amazing. So just before we get into this section of the video, I just wanted to kind of preface things. If something's cool, it's going to be cool. If something's kind of mid, you know, maybe it'll be kind of mid. So let's kind of go through here. So we do see, okay, 4, 3 and 2 red, flying. When it enters, exile target equipment, instant or sorcery from your graveyard. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Thor deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. Also, seems pretty good. The other thing that I should mention is this set is printed for standard. So because it's printed for standard, we can't expect it to be some crazy pushed... well, I shouldn't say that, because some standard cards are insanely pushed. But for the most part, this set needs to be at least dialed in. It's not going to be like a master set. And you know what? Master sets are probably gone, but I'm not going to go down that tangent. That's a conversation for another day. LOL, in the finance discords, they are mainly talking about the Secret Lair reprints. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
thanks to the both of you for the great work. Squirrel Girl is in the gallery. Oh, is it?
Oh, okay.
The Secret Lair comments are reminding me of the quote, even the gods can bleed. Just a small amount of worry going on. Oh, gotcha. All right, so we get...
Oh, there was the Scarlet Witch.
Whoops.
Let me go find the Squirrel Girl. What's happening over there?
Me? Sorry. I was trying to scrub through and find all this stuff. So Scarlet Witch, 2 and a red for 2/3. Instant sorcery spells you cast with mana value 4 or greater cost X less to cast. I mean, that's an extremely strong enabler.
There's a bunch of cards up that they didn't showcase. Yep.
Okay, do you want to link it to me and we'll just go through them
you
from
might
there?
just want to use this. I think that's
just
easier than you
shoot me a link really quick. We're going to get a more effective way of going over this, chat. Give me just a moment.
Should be there now.
Where'd you send it? Over Discord?
It has new on all the ones from today.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Yeah, just some other treatments of things. And some new cards.
All right, here we go. Magic the Gathering's Marvel Superheroes card image gallery. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we could just go over everything from here. And everybody, if you did enjoy the stream today, make sure to, if you think you're going to be back, make sure to subscribe. It goes a long way and it helps out the channel more than you know. All right, so Agent Phil Coulson, pretty cool. Vigilance, put a 1/1 counter on each other hero you control. Cards like this, if it said each other creature you control, pretty wild, right? But they dial back the power level by making it hero. Oh, you know what? I'm going to shrink chat just for a minute. You're going to bring... actually... And then we have Avengers Assemble. Flash. Heroes you control get +2/+2 at the beginning of each end step if you attacked with a hero this turn, or a hero entered the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card. Captain America we saw. You know, I think like the hero and villain support stuff is a good way of making sure that all of these cards don't just go into any commander deck. I was talking to Paige about this when we were looking through some of the cards. And what's interesting about it is, you'll be able to have people that build a villain deck, people that build a hero deck, that kind of stuff. And not just every good card is going to go in every commander deck, which is kind of like the fear sometimes going into these new sets, is there's going to be just these pushed singles that just are like, oh, well, that goes in any white deck, or that goes in any blue deck. Limiting it to heroes and villains is going to make it to where people are just going to build a specific deck based around that, which I think is good.
It'll get stronger over time, though, as all the Marvel sets come out.
All right. All right, 1 second. Captain America Super Soldier 1 and 2 white for a 3/2. First strike, Captain America enters with a shield counter. As long as Captain America has a shield counter
that's
on
not a
him.
New one.
Oh, that's not new. No,
Do you
Captain
see at the top there?
Oh, I see, new.
Otherwise,
yes.
you might be here all day.
That's right. Captain Marvel, Earth's Protector. We saw this. So the power-up is cool. If you have the mana, it's best to almost just like do the power-up the turn it comes out, because it's going to save you
It's really good.
mana in the long term. You'd be getting a 5/4 for 5. And for just simply 2 extra mana, you can put a 1/1 counter on, and an indestructible counter on Captain Marvel. Otherwise, if you can't do it the moment that she enters, you're going to have to pay 7 in order to do that. Invisible Woman is here. We already know about the Mind Stone. I really like those uncommons. The uncommons looked really strong today. Yeah, they didn't show us like any of this. Like Murdoch's Crusade. That wasn't in the
No,
spoiler.
and I'm wondering if some were preview cards from today that I just missed this morning, or they've just decided to put more up. Like some of these are just the other art of the cards.
Like scene cards and
like
stuff.
That one cap wasn't shown, but the other two were. So I'd assume they're just throwing all them up. But I also could have missed stuff.
Okay. Well, rather than
they really
read
went
stuff,
fast at
we'll
the
just
start
like
there.
yeah, they did. So what we'll do is, God, I wish I could kind of like get rid of this search bar up top here. It kind of like drives me crazy that half of the screen is this pre-order thing that won't go away. They're like, as you scroll through, the pre-order must stay up there. Teamwork 4. The teamwork thing is kind of cool. It's essentially like a kicker kind of thing where you pay it with your creature's power. Choose one. If this spell was cast using teamwork, choose both. So you get Street Justice, exile target creature with toughness 4 or greater, or exile target enchantment with mana value 4 or greater. That's some nice versatility on that. I think I'm a fan. We have the Sentry, Golden Guardian. We already saw that. Avengers Assemble, which I just talked about. Captain America, which is new art here. Yeah. Yep.
And that Invisible Woman.
Yep.
Cool.
Let me hide our sponsor thing here so that people can see a little bit more. All right, then we have Avengers Assemble, another version. We have Captain Marvel, another version. This is the scene kind of like painting that we saw. Monica here, legendary creature, human hero, 3/3, flying prowess, transform, and then flips into photon. Flying hexproof prowess. That does seem kind of fun. And then another Captain America. Yeah, just like so much Captain, like so many versions of.
Well, I'm wondering like
cards.
how rare that one will be compared to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like Final Fantasy type pull rates. I don't know.
Yeah. This version here kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy. How whichever Final Fantasy character it was, it had the Roman numeral in the background. So kind of a similar treatment to what we saw last year with that. The Mind Stone, very cool. Love the art on this. And they did mention that there are going to be just 150 of these, or less than 150. So if you pull this, expect a very hefty payday, in addition to having an amazing new card for your collection. We talked about Agent Phil Coulson. We've seen some of these source material cards here. We talked about concerted effort. Just taking another look at some of these. How do you feel about the source material cards that we've seen? Do you feel like that they've picked some good ones? Interested in your thoughts. 5-9. Yeah, that's a good question. Why not make them serialized? Why not make them serialized? That is a good question.
If they're leading away from because that's the same thing that's happening with the Hobbit too, right?
Yeah, so Hobbit, that smog is probably going to be the same thing. There is no serialized in The Hobbit either, which is why you've seen a lot of these serialized cards start getting soaked up. The stuff from March of the Machine, the stuff from Brothers War, cheap ones. There used to be a lot of cheap ones. A lot of that stuff has been soaked up. There was a heavy influx of serialized cards early on when they started doing that. And then since then, they've dialed it back a ton. You got sets that would have maybe like 5 serialized cards, like the Praetors. Or you get sets these days like the Emeritus or Edgar Markov, or the Bitter Blossom Bearer, that are all now getting 1 serialized card. So I think it's about making the serialized cards that do come out meaningful. I don't think that they're going to move away from it completely. But it could also be the kind of thing like with this, where they go and they talk to Disney and they say, hey, we're thinking about doing a serialized card. And then Disney's like, no. You know, you don't really know, like, exactly with these universes beyond sets how it goes. Like, some of them might be like, yeah, sure, we're into it. Like Lord of the Rings. While others, and I don't know because I'm not privy to the inner workings of any of it. I don't know if, you know, they go to Disney and Disney says, you know, no, we just want it to be clean. We don't want there to be numbered cards or anything like that. You never really know. But also, it makes sense now with all the Marvel sets moving forward. We can rest assured that none of the other stones are going to end up being serialized or anything like that. It's like they've shown us how it's going to go. I'm just saying, if they announce 150, they should confirm it with serialized. Right, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think part of it comes into, like, most of the serialized, or not most of, but a lot of serialized cards will never be unearthed. Like, when you look at the Golden Chocobo, it's pretty wild that 44 of them have been found. There's still 33 that are missing. But I think, like, taking away the serialized number, but then also noting, hey, there's only, like, 150 of these, they're still extremely scarce, but I guess it kind of makes it to where they all have like an equal value versus it being like, oh, well, number 1 is worth this and number 69 150. I feel like it wouldn't, like, there's no reason to, because if they did all get found and there were more than 150, people would be like, what the H?
Yeah, that wouldn't look good.
Yeah. Teferi's Protection. Pretty cool to see a T-Pro get the reprint. You know, we'll always take a T-Pro reprint. That's cool. We saw
Honestly,
Echo.
these ones with the white background look like in foil.
Same.
Probably like the... Oh, geez. I forget which card it was in the count... Or not the countdown, but the Advent Calendar.
Whoops.
The heck? I'm drawing a blank, but yeah. That looked cool.
All right, let's keep going here. We also have Echo, little Prodigy, Echo Perceptive Prodigy, 2 and a blue for a 1/4 Vigilance. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control from a creature source. You may choose new targets for the copy. That's pretty good. A-Test Productions. If the set does well, they can print more collectors and not have to print a new set like LOTR. You know, that's another good point. You know, I don't know if it's that easy, because I know that what happens is Magic the Gathering works years ahead, right? So right now you have a set that is coming out that was likely built 3-4 years ago. Maybe even longer. Just like, keep in mind that once the set goes to print and is out of print, it can't just be like, oh, well, let's run some more of this one in there. It's like, because of their schedule, they are constantly printing. Like right now, they're printing stuff that's not going to come out probably for, or I don't know if they're printing it, but they're designing stuff that's not going to come out for like another 3 years. Right now, we are living with all of WotC's decisions that were actually made, you know, like years ago. We also have Kang the Conqueror, 2 and 2 blue for 4/5. Again, power up is going to be very good. If you have the mana to do it the turn it comes out, you're going to get a hefty discount. So Kang, you're going to pay 4, and if you want to use the power up the moment it comes out, then instead of this being an 8 cost ability to do the 1/1 counter and take an extra turn, it's only going to cost 4. Being a printer for them sounds like good job security. Yeah, I'd have to agree on that. Yeah, but how many times have we heard small print run to drive FOMO? I don't like those kind of like buzzwords, small print run, or like, for example, whenever like a card for a upcoming set appears in like a pre-release kit, or like a upcoming secret layer deck comes in place of a current secret layer deck. Whenever that kind of stuff happens, I'm just like, oh, this is just driving FOMO. All just driving FOMO. I don't like it though, because you have these sets that have such a small window of time to actually have their 15 minutes of fame that you don't really want something else to overshadow that. Yeah, you're still here. Let me go back up to it for a second. So yeah, you're still paying 8. However, so say you play it for 4. You don't have the extra mana to power it up the moment it comes out. Then on a later turn, you're going to have to pay 8. So it would be 12 total. However, if you play it for 4 and you have the mana that turn to do the power up, then it's going to mitigate the power up cost by the cost of the card if it entered that turn. So it is a difference of 8 mana if you play it and use the power up the same turn, or 12 mana if you play it and use the power up on a later turn. If that makes sense. All right. Leader Super Genius came out. If a creature you control would connive, instead you draw a card, then that creature connives. We have Loki, God of Mischief, that came out, which is pretty cool. Whenever a player or permanent becomes the target of an ability you control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's also fun. Yeah, Ace, exactly. Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, we saw Reach. Whenever one or more tokens you control enter, you may draw a card. That's just a generically good card. So like when we do our list where we talk about favorite commander cards, I would say that Mr. Fantastic is just generically good. Anything that's in like a token strategy is going to want this if it runs blue. Like I could see this being in like a green-blue hackball deck, right? Like you're just drawing when it happens. Or if you are in like a Urza or some sort of artifact matter, something that's crapping out clues and foods and treasures, like maybe even Tivit would want this, right? I think there's a lot of different ways you can go with Mr. Fantastic that makes it just like a generically good card. Yeah, the Loki looks very good as well. D-Hammer, good to see you. So I guess that you can activate King on each of your opponent's turns, take your untap step, swing, leave up the extra turn mana, pass, next person goes, then you do it again. Let me see here. Activate each power-up ability only once. Only once. Reduce the cost of this mana cost if he entered this turn. So you would need to blink it.
Yeah, you have to blink him.
Yeah, you need to blink it if you want to get that power. But, you know, blue has Deadeye Navigator and all sorts of different ways. Yeah. All right, then we have, yeah, like they didn't show us. Oh, no, we knew about Namor. Okay. Secret Invasion. Enchanted creature you control. When this aura enters, exile up to one target creature other than the enchanted creature until this aura leaves the battlefield. Enchanted creature becomes a copy of the creature until this aura leaves the battlefield. Enchanted creature has ward 2. Secret Invasion, low key. Dude, super cracked. That card is so good. Like, sorry to yawn. I woke up early today. That card is so good. We have Shuri, Wakandan Inventor, 1 and a blue for a 2/1. Makes your artifacts cheaper. We love that. For 1 and tap, target artifact you control becomes a copy of a second target artifact you control until end of turn, except it isn't legendary. Activate only as a sorcery. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, is that a Mendicant Core card, Paige? I feel like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like Shuri?
Yeah.
Then we have Tony Stark, and oh my goodness, we saw a lot of really good Iron Man cards today, which is pretty cool. We have a 1/3 for 2, 1 in tap. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then he transforms. Activate only as a sorcery. Flying Haste 5/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. If it's an equipment, attach it to the Invincible Iron Man. Now, what's really cool about these cards is they told us earlier that these are designed in such a way where you could play the front or the back. The back cannot transform into the front, but the front can transform into the back. And then it was also noted in chat that because these are different names, say you had a deck, like a standard deck running for Tony Stark, right? You could play Tony Stark, and then later on when you have the mana, play the Invincible Iron Man, and both can be on the battlefield at the same time. Which is kind of sweet. Then we have Multiversal Incursion we saw today. For each non-token creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it isn't legendary. Secret Invasion, different art on that. Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Art, new Mr. Art there. Leader, Super Genius, also new art there. Lots of variants in these sets. Lots of variants. Nickel, what's up? Good to see ya. Bruce Banner, we see new art there. Loki, God of Mischief. This one looks pretty cool. Whenever a player permanent becomes the target of an ability you control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. It's a nice effect. Different art for Tony Stark. And that's what the Invincible Iron Man turns into. So on the front side of these cards, we have this look, but then backside we have this scene. Oh, on the Loki? Oh, I see what you're saying. Hope all is well. Looking forward to this. Yeah, we've seen some pretty fun cards. You know, we live in the time of Universes Beyond and variants, so every set that comes out is just a wild bunch of stuff. Little variant of Namor, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner. Let me flip these around for you if you want to take a look at them. And then we have another Tony Stark here. So you could just see all of the different versions of these cards. They're like, we want you to be able to have a bunch of different Iron Man. I do like as well that they do this where they show you everything that this comes in. Once this stream concludes, I'll make sure to link this article so that people can find it in the description of the video. But so many of these cards, we don't have to talk about again because these are just different versions. Different versions, different variants. Iron Man, Armored Avenger, 3 and a blue, flying. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Okay, we like that. And then whenever Iron Man attacks, other attacking modified creatures gain flying until end of turn. So if you were in an affinity modular kind of thing, anything that is enchanted, counters, that kind of stuff, equipment, that counts as modifications. So, you know, if you have a board full of modified artifacts, they're all going to get flying, so that's fun. Then we have Iron Man Bleeding Edge. Flying, whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. Do this only once each turn. It's a pretty big effect as well. Like, I don't even know. I mean, so much artifact support. It's like Mendicant Core, I could change out 10 cards with what I'm just seeing here. Which one did you see? The Namor? Power equal to the number of merfolk. Yeah. Yeah, that seems pretty good. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell... Oh, for the Namor?
Mm-hmm.
Create that many 1/1 blue merfolk creature tokens. So, yeah, Namor kind of does everything it needs to do. Not only is it a flyer, it's going to be powered up by merfolk. I love that Namor is a merfolk. Yeah, that card's good. That card is very good. All right, let's keep going. We got the Iron Man counterspell. Looks amazing. Honestly, that looks freaking awesome. We got some other source material cards, Lord of Atlantis. So they're giving us some merfolk support, which is fun. We also get Dig Through Time. Harbinger of the Seas. Harbinger of the Seas is a pretty mean card, though. Not gonna lie, it's kind of a jerk card. Pretty good. Mechanized Production reprint, which we love. It's pretty sweet. Harbinger is your favorite merfolk. I mean, it is a pretty good one. It does everything that you need to do in Commander. It's extremely pesky, right? It like punishes players for not running It punishes players for not running enough basic lands. It is a lightning rod for removal. I mean, dude, that card is wildly good. And then we also saw Reconnaissance Mission and Show and Tell. I didn't see that. Oh, they did give us a reprint of Synthesizer as well, which, if anybody doesn't know, this was one of the best cards that came out of Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and it has needed a reprint essentially since it came out, because that is such a win con. Anybody who's played against the Iron Man Secret Lair deck, you've probably played against a simil. How do you want me to pronounce this card name? Simulacrum?
Simulacrum?
Simulacrum? Synthesizer. Simulacrum. Then let's talk about some of the black cards here. We have Dark Deed, 1 in a black. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. I'm pretty sure it's just a better Grasp of Darkness. Oh, I mean, in Modern, it's crazy. Yeah, Nickel.
Grasp of Darkness, yeah, it's 2 black pips, so...
Yeah. And I do like the Construct a Cosmic Cube. This plan thing is very funny that Maro was talking about, how every villain gives us their entire plan. I like how that fits into the lore. The MODOK is, as a black player, can't wait to try out this card. Flying, lifelink for 5. It's a 2/2, which seems like, oh, that's kind of mid. A 2/2 flying lifelinker for 5. But wait, there's more. Pay 3 life, and then MODOK Connives activate only during your turn, which is going to grow MODOK. And then you can design only for killing creatures your opponents control, get -1/-1. So if you are running like a Maha in your deck, these are the 2 card combo that just kind of shuts everything down for your opponents. Maha is going to give all of your opponents' creatures 1 toughness, and MODOK is going to give all of your opponent's creatures -1/-1, meaning that 1 toughness is going to get essentially clear all of your opponent's creatures. It's pretty pretty busted. Old World, nice to see you. Missed you as well. Then we have Masters of Evil. Other villains you control get +2/+1. Again, if it had been other creatures, that would just be a busted effect. But because it's specific to villains, kind of reins it in a little bit. The thing is we have a ton of superhero sets to come out in the future, right? We've only got 2 of the stones. Like, we have the Soul Stone and the Mind Stone. There are many stones that need to come out. And there's not going to be another one in this set, right? So what we have to do is we have to think in the future with all of the villains that exist and the villains outside of, you know, superheroes. Is this a card that has a lot of room to grow? Maybe so. And then Elektra with the sneak ability. Sneak coming to us in TMNT. But when you get to a superhero set like this and you say, oh, wait, Black Widow, she's sneaky. Elektra, that's a sneaky character. You're going to have superheroes that are sneaky. So a lot of like pre-planning here, like, oh, what is something that can fit in TMNT and also superheroes? Oh, well, Sneak. Sneak is going to be something that these characters share. I mean, the Turtles are essentially superheroes in their own way as well, right? So interesting how they do that. Like they showed us the Kingpin. The fact that that character has extort, they're pulling from old keywords and abilities that fit thematically, and I love that they could do that. So pulling one card to have sneak, I think that that's really fun. It's like, oh, we should use this ability that we created because this character is sneaky. They made sneak so they could put ninjutsu on non-ninjas. Hey, that's fair too. We will probably see a lot of sneak going forward. Because, yeah, you can't just like... Yeah, that's a good point, Food. We saw Elektra. There's a variant. Dr. Doom. 4 in 2 black. Different art here on Dr. Doom. When it enters, create 2 3/3 colorless robot villain artifact creature tokens named Doombot. As long as you control an artifact creature or a plan, Dr. Doom has indestructible. And then at the beginning of your end step, you draw a card and you lose life. So, pretty good. They should consider reprinting Heroic Intervention. Well, Nickel, you just wait. Dr. Doom, different...
It's already been spoiled.
Even more. What has?
The Heroic Intervention.
Oh, never mind. I didn't realize you were being silly. Oh, yeah. Also less rules issues. That's fair. I like that we don't have to wait for a set to favor a mechanic to see the mechanic. If it fits for even one card, slap it on. Sneak also works on non-creatures. They open up the mechanic. Oh, got it. That's right. That's right. That is correct. Thunderbolt's Conspiracy is also out. Flash, whenever a villain you control dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a finality counter on it. That creature is a hero in addition to its other types. So that is a very good way to give your villains essentially undying. I like it. I like it. We also saw Dark Rit today. Little Dark Ritual. And that is from... Is that from Jumpstart? That's got to be the Jumpstart symbol, right? It is a cool Dark Rit. Yeah, it's very sweet. It's good for later hero sets, but it makes the Spider-Man cards way better too. Yes, that's true. That's true. It's a good lord for villains. Deadly Dispute. Final Act. So Final Act was kind of like that Black Farewell with very different abilities on it. Like, each opponent loses all counters.
Sorry, I was muted. I think the commander deck and the jumpstart have the same set symbol.
Got it. Okay. And then we also have a No Mercy. All right, now let's talk about some red cards. Yes, that is the first reprint of Final Act. Good point there. Give me just a moment, chat. All right, let's keep going. We have Hulk Smash, Teamwork. Choose one. If the spell was cast using Teamwork, choose both. Destroy target non-creature artifact, or target creature you control deals damage equal its power. Very good, versatile spell here with Hulk Smash. Love it. I liked your vid with winners versus losers on your buys. Fun idea for a vid, the one with a bunch of flashbacks. Yes, yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. That's something that I'd like to do. It lets me not only track my collection well, like if I buy cards, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put extra steps into this. I'm going to keep track of my cost basis. I'm going to make a video out of them. So it's almost like this thing where I'm like, okay, if I want to justify buying cards, I need to at least make a video out of it. I mean, Dark Ritual is pretty good. Then we have Human Torch. Flying. Whenever you draw a card, if you control another hero, Human Torch deals 1 damage to target opponent. And it also has Power Up. Put 3 1/1 counters on Human Torch. Oh my gosh, chat. Why am I yawning? My goodness. Thanks, Nickel. I appreciate you.
I went to bed too late.
Yeah, so Human Torch. This is another good example with Power Up. That Power Up ability is hefty. Okay? That costs 7 to do. Like, if you have nothing to do, like in a limited environment, say you draft this Human Torch, right? If you have nothing to do in limited, then sure, just like later on, pay 7 and put some counters on him. But otherwise, if it's like Commander or something like that, tapping 7 to just put 3 counters on Human Torch is a lot. So it is helpful if you can just play Torch for 3, pay the extra 4 to put 3 counters on him right then and there, versus having to pay 10 total mana to get the most out of this card. It's an indicator of a lack of oxygen in the blood. Crack a window. No! No! Mjolnir, we already talked. Mjolnir, we already talked about. Mjolnir. Mjolnir.
Jeez.
I think it's Mjolnir. Photon Blast Barrage. 2 red and X. Whenever you cast this spell, copy it X times. You may choose new targets for the copy. Deals 1 damage to target creature. That's a cute spell that I imagine is crazy in a Storm deck, I would imagine. Quicksilver. We already talked about the Scarlet Witch. We already talked about this card as well. Thor, God of Thunder. Also, we went over that one, but some very cool cards.
I'm building Scarlet Witch, so I will make the deck tag for you. I will do the synergies.
I mean, it is extremely strong, isn't it? Like, instant sorcery spells. Like, she's just an amazing enabler. She's just a big mana. Good. Like, honestly, I would just plug her into that blue-red Prismari deck that just came out. Like, from Secrets of Strixhaven. Just plug her into the 99 of that deck. She's going to thrive in there. As a commander, she's going to thrive. But just like in big mana commander, this card's amazing. Yeah, any mana dork commander's OP. Exactly.
Yeah, that art is gorgeous. I love that. I think because I also prefer this art, I'm just going to do like my own border extension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Thor. Yeah, I agree. The flavor on Thor is also good. All right, let's keep going. Got some variants here if you just want to look through these variants. These are cards that we've already talked about, but these are the different treatments that they've put into the set. Same is true with these, so you could see lots of different versions of Thor's hammer. And there's Scarlet Witch right there in the extended.
Yeah, like the other art, it just looks better.
Nickel, am I a big Marvel person in general? I spoke briefly about this earlier. I like what I like from Marvel, and I am just as fair about what I don't like. So there's some of it that feels like when I go to watch a movie, right, and it takes 30 minutes of expo before we can actually get to the story because of how much like lore needs to be set. As a moviegoer, that kind of turns me off. I get that it is deep lore and you have to set stuff. You have to like set up your movie and that kind of thing. But I do believe that Marvel, because it is so intertwined and because you need to know so much about so many different characters, that it is hard for people to digest it. Like if I'm just a regular moviegoer, it's difficult for me to go in and know everything that's going on because I haven't memorized this Easter egg and this Easter egg and this little thing and this from this movie, or I wasn't refreshed watching this thing. So for me, I really do like the Marvel movies that I could kind of go in and they stand on their own. A really good example is Doctor Strange. When Doctor Strange came out, I didn't know anything about the movie. I was able to watch the movie. I got to learn about the character. I got to see the origin story. And then boom, I just understand everything about that character. I didn't need to know much about anybody else. And so for the people that are able to watch the movies and love them and watch all of the entire scope, you know, it's like those people get to really, really enjoy it. It's like when I go to watch an Alien movie, right? I've watched, you know, Alien and the Alien Director's Cut. I've watched Aliens and the Aliens Director's Cut. I've watched Alien 3 and the Alien 3 Assembly Cut. I've watched Alien Resurrection and the Director's Cut of that. I've seen every single different thing that there is to know about Alien. So when I go and I watch an Alien movie, I get to pick up on all the little Easter eggs. It's like the kind of thing where I'm going to watch Romulus and I'm going to hate it because I've seen so many other Alien movies that I'm like, why are they turning this into a greatest hits? Prometheus, all of those movies. I love all of those movies. Everything that dives into the lore of Alien, even though there are huge plot holes in like Prometheus and the one that came after that. I forget the name of it, but you know what I mean. Like Romulus starts out really good. I know this is a Marvel stream, but I'm just trying to help you understand. But yeah, Romulus starts out good, but because I know so much about Alien, by the end of Romulus, I was just like, what are they doing? But yeah. But for this, I am a Marvel fan. I like what I like from Marvel. I think like Iron Man is sick. I love Iron Man's story. I like everything up through Infinity War. And then after that, I get very picky choosy about what I like. I get very like, this isn't fleshed out enough, or like, you know, that kind of thing. But everything up through Infinity War was pretty good. I think there were a couple Thor movies that I didn't much care for. The Guardians of the Galaxy stuff is great. That kind of stuff. It's by design, so you have to consume. Right, exactly, Zitro. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going, because I could talk about that kind of stuff forever, because like I'm also like really big into horror movies, right? I just watched Obsession. I like that you could sit down and watch one of those movies and just get everything there. And I have friends that are Marvel fans that actually have trouble liking other movies that don't have enough depth. It's like for example, I didn't like Eternals just by default, just because it was Marvel. But I know people who like Marvel movies by default just because they're Marvel, without actually going in and like, it's like they go in and they're like, I am a Marvel fan, I will like this movie by default. And that is not how I am at all. It has to actually be good writing, good character devel. I could go on, I could make an entire freaking channel about how important character development is. If the character development sucks in a movie, I don't care about your characters. Like, not even a little bit. You have to have good character development. I would rather have a movie with like an hour of good character development and 30 minutes of action that I give a shit about versus a movie with 20 minutes of character development and then an hour and a half of nonstop action where characters are getting eliminated and I don't care about any of them. So the movies that lack the character development, I think it's like, I don't know how you have so many directors, so many writers these days that just don't get how important character devel is. I'm like, that is your entire movie. That is your, every single thing is about caring about your characters. Otherwise, the stuff that happens to them, good or bad, I don't care. I like DC more, but I do like Marvel from the comics. Puts hipster hat on. Yeah, like Batman is a character that I very much gravitate toward, right? Like I love Batman. There's a lot of DC characters I don't care much about. I think I lean more toward, like, in the grand scheme of everything, I probably lean more toward Marvel, but I do like the dark, like kind of like gothic Batman vibes that come with that. I typically like darker media. Not saying that the stuff that happens in Marvel is not dark and doesn't get dark. I mean, like the Snap, there's like a lot of crazy stuff that happens in Marvel that is very much, dark. But anyway, Scarlet Witch, Lady Loki, Agent of Chaos. We see whenever you cast your first instant, sorcery, or villain spell each turn, exile it. Then exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Lady Loki deals damage to each opponent equal to the difference between that spell's mana value and that non-land card's mana value. You may cast the card without paying its mana cost. That's an interesting card. Holy cow, man. I mean, that's a pretty good card there. Wow, we still have over 100 people watching even after the previews have ended. We appreciate you all so much. If you aren't subscribed and you think you're going to be back in the future, go ahead and subscribe for us. It goes a long way. We see some other fun stuff. Fiery Emancipation. Monstrous Rage. You know, I want to make a point about this. Did we get to Teferi's Protection yet? We already go past it? I think we did. Or no, is white at the bottom? I think we saw a T-Pro. Okay. I want to make this note really quick. Cards like Teferi's Protection. Cards that are like, and I know Teferi's Protection is not a CEDH card. It's a high power commander card. In CEDH, it's kind of slow. And I've talked to people about this. I was actually surprised to hear that T-Pro isn't a CEDH card because it doesn't really progress anything, right? It's like this card that's like, sure, it gets you out of danger, but not even like out of range of like if all your stuff is phased out, you can't really do anything. It's like, yeah, nothing's going to happen to you, but you can't really affect the game. So Teferi's Protection, these strong cards, but all of what I just said, it's still an extremely strong card, right? Cards like this are used to push these sets. I know that seems obvious, but for anybody who's watching this stream right now who doesn't understand, The cards that are high power commander cards, that are game changers, that kind of stuff, those cards are used to push these sets. Those cards go in the bonus slot because that makes this product more attractive. So a good rule of thumb these days, and I'm going to make a video about this as well, is with CEDH cards. CEDH cards have a very unique and important utility in today's Magic the Gathering manufacturing. They are used because CEDH, high power commander, it appeals to not only sweaty players but also casual players. Teferi's Protection is a card that you can run in a casual commander deck, and you can keep that deck like bracket 3 as long as you don't have too many effects that are like that, or you don't stack the deck full of game changers. But just remember that CEDH cards, they're no longer going to be like the kind of thing where, in my opinion, you see like a mana drain in a regular set, or you're going to see like a, like a one ring printed in like a regular situation, like a regular set. Like when I say like a regular standard set, a good card would be like Mox Opal, right? I just talked about this in a video. I don't think you're ever going to see a Mox Opal at Mythic in a regular set. That Mox Opal is only going to appear on a bonus sheet or a special guest, some sort of way to keep that card expensive so that people will continue to buy the sets, but you don't nuke the price of that card. Because Wizards knows the cards that are important these days. They know what cards are expensive, and they want those cards to stay expensive. Okay? They need those cards to stay expensive. Because all of this stuff, all of the new stuff that they print, all of this is great, but none of it is tested. None of it is tested and tried. But what is Teferi's Protection. They go, oh, that card is good. That card needs to only ever be printed on a list, a special guest, whatever. We can't just slam that into like a commander deck or give it like a good earnest reprint. You're upsetting the print it into the group, into the ground, people. I don't make these decisions. I'm just an observer on the on the roller coaster here. I'm just along for the ride. Hey, as they say, right? Don't take the messenger out for a ride, right? Don't count your chickens before they, come home to roost. Is those all these things that people say over time. I just wanted to make that point before I forget that point. Let's go back down here. We were talking about red cards. We were getting through the red cards. That's right. And then we saw Bedlam. Okay, so we're at green. We have Go Nuts. Very good card. Hellcat. Very cool card. I really do love the teamwork on this Go Nuts card here. The fact that this is 1 green for a fight is so cool. I love that. Well, yeah, 5/9. I mean, it's all business as usual, right? I mean, it would be cool if we lived in a society that was like, yeah, we do pretty good. But it's all about penny pinching and getting the most profit imaginable. The Thing, Ben Grimm, Trample. Whenever one or more heroes you control deal combat damage to a player, put 2 1/1 counters on the Thing. That's fun. Tigra or Tigra. This is where all the Marvel fans are going to know whether or not I am like deep on the lore. Flash, Trample. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on it. I'm seeing cards that are very good. I'm seeing a lot of stuff with Flash. That's the one thing about superheroes, right? Everybody's fast. So there's a lot of Flash. And with a lot of Flash being injected into Magic, you're going to see a lot of powerful effects start making it into decks. LOL, I had to step down from the MTG group on Facebook. I just couldn't take the complaining all the time. Don't get me started on the proxy people. The way that I feel about that, without having to jump into it too deep, regarding playtest cards, is as long as they are clearly a playtest card, I'm fine with it. I don't want to gatekeep. right? Like, say I'm playing a deck. I own a Guy's Cradle, right? And I have a Guy's Cradle in my bracket 4 Bebop and Rocksteady deck where I'm just like, yeah, I'm running the Cradle because I own the Cradle. However, if I'm sitting down to play with somebody and they want to run a Cradle in the same kind of thing, but they can't afford it, if I want my card to stay expensive, this might not make sense. If I want my card to stay expensive, and I want people to be okay with me playing that card, I need to be okay with them doing a playtest card of a Cradle if they want to do that. I don't want them to be shut out of playing the game or playing against me because I have a card that's expensive. I want my cards to stay expensive, and I want my opponents to not complain if I play them. So I am going to say to them, if you want to playtest that card, I have no issue with that. I don't care at all. That's kind of like a mentality that I picked up from, I don't know, the CEDH crowd or just playing Commander for a long time. I never want to gatekeep people because I want my stuff to stay valuable, which I know like people get mad about the value too. They're like, don't talk about the value of your cards. When we have collector products that come out that are $400 or $500 right out the gate, we have to think about the value of stuff, you know? Oh yeah, meaning of proxy has been skewed. I just gave in to use it how many people use the word. I don't want to use my Cradle in a deck. So, oh yeah. That's also a thing too. My Cradle's slabbed. It's like a Beckett 8/5. I probably should just crack it out of the slab because an 8/5 in a perfect fit playing in a deck, I'm gonna have a lot more fun with it, right? But the collector in me is like, I don't need to put any more wear and tear on that card than it already has, even though it is meant to be played. Yeah, yours is also slabbed. See, there you go. Let's keep going. I keep getting derailed talking to chat, but the thing is I like talking to chat. That's the entire point of this, right? Is hanging out with people, community interaction. We're talking about cards, but chat is here. Oh, nice. Yours is also an 8/5. Okay, is yours a Beckett 8/5? I guess with Beckett, that's the one where you're gonna get the 0.5 in there. The unbeatable Squirrel Girl exists. Oh, Paige, this is giving me an identity crisis because I played so much Squirrel Girl in Marvel Rivals.
So you have to build it now.
But I also hate green. And so this is hard for me because I'm looking at a mono green commander that I want to play. Do you like squirrels? Whenever the unbeatable Squirrel Girl enters or attacks, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. What do you think, chat? Are squirrels about to go ham?
You have to read the flavor text every time you cast her in her voice.
We're here to eat nuts and kick butts. That's about as close as I can get. It's kind of. It needs to be like up a couple octave. We're here. Let's see if we can do it. We're here to eat nuts and kick butts. We're here to eat nuts. I can't do it. We're here to eat nuts and kick butts. What? Which it's good it doesn't say.
Oh my god.
We're here to eat butts and kick nuts. Which is a little bit of a danker direction that we could go. That we're gonna move past.
We're moving on.
Wait, Jake, do you play Rivals? I did for a little bit. I played the Landshark. I played Squirrel Girl. I played with our group, and then I fell back into Rocket League like I always do. I love squirrels. So 1 in 3 green, create X 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens where X is the number of squirrels you control. I mean, this is a pretty wild squirrel commander. Magic After Dark. That's right. That's right. I only remember you playing Rocket League. Same. The Thing, Ben Grimm, different art here. I do like that Squirrel Girl. We have another Squirrel Girl variant here. Love it. Love it. We have Hit Monkey, which we saw today. What's that, Paige?
Oh yeah, that was the one that was in the
this
promo
one?
for the stream. Yeah.
Oh, this one. Yes. So we didn't see that card today in the stream, but it does exist here. So if you didn't see it, that is what it does. I feel like the Squirrel Girl is extremely strong. It is very good. All right, let's keep going. We've got Beast Within. I don't know if we've ever seen a Beast Within reprint before, but we got a Beast Within reprint. We got Defense of the Heart, 3 and a green. This is a very good card, and this is a card that you should not sleep on. If you don't know about Defense of the Heart, I will read it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls 3 or more creatures, sacrifice this enchantment. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards, put those onto the battlefield, then shuffle. This is a wombo combo card here, folks. This is a card where I could just literally wait for my opponent to get 3 creatures, sack Defense of the Heart, get Mike and Trike, and just win. So it's a very strong card. It's also one of these cards where it's only limited in its power by the deck that you put it in. It is casual, and it's also very, very, very powerful. No chatter. No chatter, that's right. Was there ever a secret layer for Chatterfang? Oh, now I know what you're saying. No.
I think just the Bloomborough.
Oh, for fun, you
Forgetting
posted your
all the
cradle
names
in the
for
Discord?
borderless one.
Sick. Now I want to see if your cradle has the same subgrades as mine. Boom, 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 boom. Which channel did you post it in? General? Oh yeah, there it is. Centering 8, edges 9.5, corners 9, surface 9.5. All right. Let's do a little comparison. We're getting through the end of our stuff here, so we're just having some fun, hanging with chat. Then I got to go get my suit to the dry cleaners. All right, let's see. The reveal. All right, so here we go. Yours was an 8 on centering, 9.5 on edges, 9 on corners, and 9.5 on surface. Mine was 8 5s across the board. Quad 8 5s, baby. Yeah. That's fun. All right, let's go back over here.
For those that were wondering about Daredevil, Robert Redbeard just posted his preview card, which is Daredevil.
Oh, okay. Got Daredevil over there, huh? That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we got the Force of Vigor reprint, which we already saw. Yes, we did get the joke about heroic intervention. Now it kind of makes more sense. They should do a heroic intervention
Yeah, with
reprint.
all of them.
How about 3?
Yeah, there you go.
Are 3 good? I feel like 3 is probably good. Three heroic interventions. Then we get Steely Resolve, not to be confused with Steely Dan, and Unnatural Growth. Okay. Then some multicolor cards. The Ant-Man is very cool. Was a fan of that one. I do like that. Then we also got Armor Wars, which is silly. It's just absolutely silly. Maybe they'll give Daredevil Black Panther treatment and cram 6 different Daredevils into the set. Maybe so. Possibly. One last thing about the Cradle. I got it for 600 because I think it being slabbed made it overlooked. And look at what has happened to the price of Cradle since. It is pretty wild what has happened to that. The Magic market is insane right now. I want to talk about it, but I can't talk about it during this stream. But the Magic market is going absolutely bananas. Armor Wars. You may draw a card for each artifact you control. If you do, each opponent draws a card. Sure, you can put this into your deck, draw 15 cards, and sure, your opponents collectively will draw 3. Seems fine. And then artifact spells you cast costs... and then artifact spells you cast this turn cost 1 less to cast. Also pretty good. And this saga deals X damage to target opponent where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. That also has the potential to be just absolutely nutty. All for 4 mana. Pretty cool. What's cool about being years into this hobby, all these cards reprints, I feel exactly the same way. There's like a lot of the times where I'm like, okay, I have that card. I don't have that version, but whatever. I feel like this set will be similar to Lord of the Rings. WotC made this set... WotC made this set too good to pass. I mean, there's some really good stuff in it. Black Panther also looks good. All of these signpost uncommons that we're looking at right now. The Black Widow, Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains first strike and Death Touch until end of turn. Chat, if you don't know, first strike and Death Touch, that's the secret sauce, baby. You can have a 1/1 with first strike and Death Touch. If it blocks a 15/15, that first strike with Death Touch is going to kill the 15. It is absolutely crazy. There's only been a couple creatures that have gotten first strike and Death Touch. Glissa comes to mind. There are not a lot of them. It's that kind of combo that you don't really put those two keywords together because it's just so busted. Oh, dude, Armor Wars is so crazy, man. We saw Captain America Living Legend today, which is pretty cool. Whenever a creature you control becomes tapped during your turn, if it's the first time that creature has become tapped this turn, untap it. Food Time brought up Crew earlier in the stream. Crew is very, very strong. So, like, being able to, like, put this at the helm of a vehicle deck could be very fun. Other creatures that are just, like, tap abilities. Anything that requires tapping, any activated or, ability that's going to cause tapping. Captain America is going to get the most out of that. So, a very cool card, and at Uncommon, it looks like a really fun commander to build around. Hulk Gamma Goliath. Love the art on this. You have Hulk just going absolutely crazy here. This is another good example of power-up. Reach, Trample, power-up abilities of other creatures you control cost 3 less to activate. Hulk costs 5 for a 6/5. Hulk's power-up ability there. Put 5 1/1 counters on Hulk. Kind of feels like monstrous, right? I mean, Hulk is monstrous. But that is an 8-cost ability that you could cast for 3 if you played Hulk that same turn. So, for example, you could play Hulk effectively for 8 the turn he comes in, and instead of it being a 6-5, it's going to be an 11-10 with reach and trample. Otherwise, you do have to pay 8 on a turn later on in the game, and that's going to make that ability a lot less potent. However, it is still something that you could do if you don't have anything else to do with your mana, which these cards, in my opinion, are really going to thrive in limited. Excuse me. They're really going to thrive in limited because in limited, you do get to this kind of like clunky part later in the game where you're like, oh God, I don't have anything to do with my mana. It's like you're drawing, oh God, I'm top decking another land. That's when you look at the board and you go, okay, do I have any creatures that I can pump this mana into? Well, that's when the power up is going to come in. It's like, oh, okay, I can, just next turn, if I don't draw a card that's going to be good, I can at least do my power up on my Hulk and just dump 8 mana into that and put 5/1/1 counters on him. Oh man, Captain America is a waterbender, confirmed. Thank you. Yes, this is why I like hanging out with chat, because it's like these things that it's like I would notice it. Chat just cheat code. Yes, waterbending. Perfect example. I was looking at it for like Mendicant Core, but yeah, in like a Katara kind of situation, it's very good. Iron Man Master of Machines. Insane card. If you are in this archetype, if you are in a artifact-centric kind of deck, Iron Man getting +1/+1 for each other artifact you control, and then whenever he attacks, if an artifact enters the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card. This is one of these kind of cards that is just crazy in that deck. And then the fact that it has flying and vigilance, it has evasion, and doesn't tap to attack is just crazy too. Dude, every Iron Man is so good. Yeah. Then we have Krang. Whenever Krang attacks, he connives. Draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. And then whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. We love that. We have a really nice drain. Killmonger. This is a card that I'm kind of excited about here. Whenever Killmonger enters, you may sack another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls. So, pretty fun card here as well. As long as there are 2 or more creature cards in your graveyard, Killmonger gets +2/+1. When I looked at this card, I immediately thought of an old commander that I like to play called Carador. I also think that this works in Winter. Anything where you're filling up your graveyard with creatures, this becomes even better. And then the fact that you could sacrifice this card to like a birthing pod and then get this card back and like all of that kind of stuff, you get into this kind of like dredge area with Killmonger where it's just doing all sorts of crazy stuff. It's not only destroying non-land permanents, which I like more than Ravenous Chupacabra, because Chupacabra is specifically creatures. Non-land permanent is very strong. However, you do have to have stuff in your deck that you could sack. So like your Sakura Tribe Elder goes well with this card. Everything that's like I mentioned Undying earlier, but like stuff like reassembling skeleton or any of these creatures that like live to die, like a grave crawler. These kind of things that you can loop, Killmonger is going to work really well with. It's also going to work well with anything that sacrifices itself and replaces itself. So like a worst case scenario, like a Worm Coil Engine, Killmonger is going to work nice with, because at least you get stuff afterwards. I hate to say Kingpin is so spot on with flavor. I think I want to make a deck with him. Yeah, Kingpin does look really, 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 really good. We have King T'Challa, which we talked about today. I love both sides of this card. Whenever a player draws their second card each turn, you draw a card, and then the transform here. I mean, everything having flash these days is just so wild, man. There's so much flash in these superhero sets. Kingpin, probably the only extort card in the set. Pretty wild. Whenever you attack, you may pay 2 life. If you do, until end of turn, creatures you control with toughness greater than their power assign combat damage equal to their toughness rather than their power. Very cool. Very fun effect. Toughness. Kingpin, very tough guy. Big bad, man. Kingpin, not a good dude. Yeah, so really fun ability, and extort works perfectly on the card. Super big flavor win there. I'm a fan of that. Oh, Nar. Oh, here we go. We saw Madam Hydra. Villain matters, so I'm like less high on that card. But as more villains come out, it does get better. Whenever you cast a villain spell, create a 2/1 black villain creature token with menace. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. 1 a green and a blue for a 2/2. Whenever you draw your second card each turn until end of turn, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur's base power and toughness become 6/6 and they gain trample. So kind of this like becoming a dinosaur kind of thing. Very Simic ability. I do like their explanation of how Simic fits into this set. You have Simic is all about growth. As Magic players, we know Simic to be like evolve and that kind of stuff. It's like mutations. So perfect Simic card here. Whenever an artifact you control enters draw a card, this ability triggers only once each turn. So not only artifacts are gonna, dude, like every card having draw these days is just crazy. There's so many commanders where they're just like, yeah, and put draw a card on it too. Yeah, let's figure out a way to staple draw to it. Just an observation. Spider-Woman, Secret Agent, Flash, another card with the F word on it. Whenever Spider-Woman enters, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't become untapped for as long as you control Spider-Woman. That's good. It's a very good card. It's a very good card. I kind of want it to be like 1 less mana, but still, it's very good. Then we have 5-color Thanos here. The Mad Titan. Mardu for a 4/4 Death Touch. Lifelink. Good abilities there. Power Up. So, again, letting people know how this would work. If you do cast the Power Up, you could play Thanos for the Mardu cost. Activate each power-up ability only once to reduce the cost of its mana cost if he entered this turn. So you would take the Mardu out of that, and then on the same turn you play it, you could cast a waste mana, a white, a blue. No, excuse me, a waste mana, a blue, and a green to be able to just use the essentially the snap ability here. Put 2 1/1 counters on Thanos, choose odd or even, destroy each other creature with mana value of the chosen quality. So very flavorful card, seems pretty strong. The Thor, dude, this one looks really fun. Boros Thor, flying Vigi, prowess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude. You play this and like next turn set up the kill. Pretty good, man.
Probably.
Yeah. Prowess?
Yeah.
In his vigilance? You know what? I always like this card. I want to put a Rune Chanter's Pike on it. In double strike.
Yeah.
Fire Shrieker?
And the hammer. Double strike and double damage.
Oh, like Teamer Battle Rage? Just like... Does Teamer Battle Rage just like get there by itself?
That just gives double strike?
No, hold on. Let me read it really quick.
I forget what the second part of it said.
All right, so Teamer Battle Rage is target creature gains double strike until end of turn. That creature also gains trample until end of turn if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. So it checks itself. It immediately gives itself trample as well, which is pretty good, and double strike. So yeah, Teamer Battle Rage is pretty good in that deck. 6/6 with double strike would be 12 damage. Plus you get the... Man, dude, I think I want to build that Thor deck. That looks...
Yeah, that's so easy to get to 21.
That would just looks fun to me. That just looks like a fun deck. There's so much. There's so many of like those like little spells as well, like a Titan Strength, which also fits thematically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah, that card looks really fun. Wolverine, Fierce Fighter, Hasty, 3/5. When Wolverine enters, he fights up to one other target creature. And if damage would be dealt to Wolverine, instead that damage is dealt, but all other damage already dealt to him is healed. So this is one of those things where it's like, path to exile. Otherwise, this thing's going to be really annoying to try and get rid of.
Pretty sure this can combo with something.
Then we got Worlds Within Worlds, 5 a green and a blue. Exile all creatures. Each player may put any number of creature cards from their hand onto the battlefield. Then put all cards exiled this way into their owner's hand. Exile Worlds Within. Worlds Within Worlds. Interesting. Very interesting card. Different version of Armor Wars here. Madam Hydra. Love this version. Love the colors on this. This pops
that scene is cool.
So much. Yeah, this is a cool scene. This art style on this is very neat. The Kingpin here in the white suit. Different version of King T'Challa, but then you can see on the other side of it a much different art style. So
yeah,
really
so that's like
interesting
the big
that they did
scene on the front, and all of them are like that on the front, and then the back, yeah, is different.
All of these, I love how simple they are. These are not very busy here. You have very lightly in the background the name of the character, and yeah, pretty cool. I love the Thanos variant here. This one, I mean,
Like that Thanos variant. Yeah, that looks sick.
yeah, that's sick.
And foil. That's gonna be great.
And then we have another King T'Challa here. The extended art of these two cards that we already went over. There's a Daredevil.
Daredevil. There it is. See, they got
There's
that
a
up quick.
Daredevil, Man Without Fear. 2 a red and a white. Vigilance, Haste. Radar Sense. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Okay. And whenever you attack, you may exile the top card of your library. If that card is a hero card, Daredevil gets +2/+1 until end of turn. You may play that card this turn. So Daredevil meant to be at the helm of a heroes kind of thing.
Yeah, it seems like it.
That makes me less high on the card. I do like that they've made it a heroes versus villains thing. I don't think there's any way that you could do a superhero set without doing that. But it kind of puts them into this like narrow box of having to be at the helm of like a hero kind of thing. But we'll see if Daredevil gets any other versions. Like we've seen a lot of cards here have got multiple versions. So we'll see if we get a different Daredevil.
I mean, it'll get better over time. You also have changelings, so
That is true. Changelings
I don't think it's-
also count as heroes, and
if
then
you
any
really wanted
future
to do
sets
it.
that also have heroes are going to be able
Yeah.
to be considered for this deck. Captain America Living Legend. We already talked about that card. There's Kang, and Hydra. We talked about those. Captain America Team Leader. Oh, are we getting... Is this all Jumpstart stuff now? No, this is all
no,
Commander,
this is Commander
stuff.
deck.
Got it. Okay, let's briefly go over that stuff. We have Captain America Team Leader. Has been spoiled. A red, a white, and a blue. For a 3/3, whenever another hero you control enters, it gains Vigilance and Haste until end of turn. Put a 1/1 counter on that hero, a 1/1 counter on Captain America. So for like a Heroes Matters thing, that seems very good. And then we also have
I mean,
Doctor
I think it's because
Doom.
you're sending more messages. I think that's what the top 3 people get the crown. I think that's what that is.
Oh. Interesting.
They're wondering why there's a crown next to their name. But I think, yeah, it's...
You've got
They
the
saw your
crown.
chat participation.
You're special.
So we appreciate you.
You are special. Dr. Doom, King of Latveria. I've never heard of that. Heck yeah, we be yapping. Whenever you discard one or more land cards, each opponent loses 2 life. That's cool. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, target villain you control gains menace until end of turn it connives. Another villain matters kind of thing. I think I need to just get used to that. That's just going to be part of how this works.
Yeah, but that's at the helm of an entire commander deck where you're going to get a ton of villains, so...
Yeah,
You have
and
to
it's
think
in
of that, too.
Grixis,
Like, these
so
decks
you
are going to
get-
be full of other cards that can work in your own decks, too.
True. True. Let's see. What else we got? T'Challa, the Black Panther, 1 a green and a white. Enters or attacks, create a tap Vibranium token. I think we saw this earlier. Whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana value 4 or greater, put 2/1/1 counters on it. So you do have this kind of like artifact synergy that's going to allow you to grow your commander, which is really cool. And the Vibranium token, it's an artifact with indestructible and tap. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. So it's artifacts that help cast more artifacts, and it's in green-white. They did mention that this is the first time they've kind of like built like an artifact matters thing into green-white, which is really interesting. I haven't seen that before. Captain Marvel, Apex Avenger. 5, a red and a white for 4/4 flying double strike, indestructible. Good God. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on another creature, if it's not a Kree, you may put the same number in kind of counters on Captain Marvel. Oh. She seems kind of good, man. This is definitely like a run a bunch of fast mana artifact pile, but getting a 4/4 flying double strike indestructible, like the only thing I'm really worried about is, you know, path and swords effects, anything that exiles, but outside of that, indestructible is really nice coverage. You
just gotta run all the deflecting SWAT effects.
Yeah, you run the deflecting SWAT effects, the deflecting SWAT, bolt bend, return the favor,
untimely malfunction. There's so many now.
Yeah, there's so much. You run all that stuff, and then you run your boots. You run all your boots, your lava spur boots, your lightning greaves, your swiftfoot boots, probably even skateboard, and just go with all the. I mean, Captain Marvel, she doesn't need a skateboard, but you know, better to have a skateboard and not need it than need a skateboard and not have it. You know, so. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on another creature, if it's not a Kree, you may put the same number in kind of counters on Captain Marvel, which is it's pretty cool. That is some good Boros beatdown, right? Does this set seem stronger to TMNT to you or weaker overall? I think it's probably stronger, Nickel. I think TMNT has some really good cards in it, but TMNT, smaller set, it brought us like Super Shredder, which is like a really good card. It brought some very good cards, but I think overall this is probably going to be like higher power level if I had to guess. But again, they're both designed for standard. Right now we're looking at commander cards, so don't take any of the cards we're talking about here. Don't think about any of them through the lens of standard. And then also keep in mind that this set is going to have 4 commander decks to TMNT's single commander deck, which also speaks to just how different the sets are as well. Director Nick Fury, blue, a red, and a white. Hero spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Another Heroes Matters. Whenever you attack, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a hero card from among them. Put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it's like a forbidden alchemy that finds creatures, and it's on an attack trigger. King Prime. Flying, whenever King Prime enters or attacks, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Put 2 time counters on that card. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. That's cool. I like that.
Okay.
That is like almost like a Chaos Wand type effect, but you have to wait.
2 time counters are very easy to remove.
It's true.
There's a lot of cards.
That's true. Clock
Doctor
spinning
Who
or
cards.
yeah, removing counters. Loki the Deceiver. We have one in blue, a black, and a red for 4/4. Whenever he attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of another target villain you control, except it isn't legendary and it's an illusion in addition to its other types. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. Whenever one or more villains you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Another commander with draw, just stapled to it. So many legendary creatures have just like draw stapled to them these days, just so that they could be a commander. I don't know if Loki needed draw built into him, but you know what? There it is. And I feel like draw is like one of these things that they put on a commander to just help make it rarer or like more mythic, because in Magic the best thing that you could do is absolutely, like, far and away the best thing you could do is draw more cards. Like, you don't want your whole deck to be draw, but having answers is how you stay in the game and how you be a factor. And the only way to stay in the game and be a factor is to have cards and things to do. Two, a green and a white for Paige. Do you know how to pronounce this? No. I forget her name. When Okoye enters, you become the monarch. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Whenever that creature attacks the monarch this turn, it gains double strike and trample until end of turn.
Ew.
So very cool that they have a card in the set that brings monarch with it and introduces monarch to the game in Selesnya. I like it. And we have even more stuff. Shuri the Black Panther, green and a white for 2/3 lifelink. Whenever it attacks, draw a card if you control 3 or more artifacts. Then if you control 6 or more artifacts, creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. That's a very fun card to build around. That's a cheap casting cost there to get a very strong effect. And it has draw a card built into it. Storm, Queen of Wakanda. 3, a green and a white. Legendary creature, mutant, noble, hero, flying. Whenever Storm attacks until end of turn, another target attacking creature gains flying and gets +X/+0, where X is Storm's power. Whenever a creature with flying attacks you, Storm deals damage equal to her power to that creature.
Okay.
And then we also saw Fantastic Four today. A red, a green, a white, and a blue. When the Fantastic Four enter, and whenever you cast a spell with power, toughness, or mana value 4, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. And it's kind of like a catch-all of effects. This card looks cool, but I'm kind of low on it. I'm kind of low on this specific card. The reason is because it's just kind of like a toolbox of effects, but I think for some people that's going to be very fun. It's kind of like a basic spot to start with a lot of commander decks, and then you build around this 4 thing that they have whenever they enter, and whenever you cast a spell with power, toughness, or mana value 4, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. So you can make walls, you can deal damage. So like the wall, that's like the thing, right? The 3 damage, that's like the Human Torch. The 2 counters, that's like Reed Richards. And then draw a card, I guess that's like the Invisible Woman type effect. So
No, I think the wall's Invisible Woman.
Oh, you're right. All right, well, anyway, I tried. But it has draw built into it.
they do represent each of them, but yes.
I did my best. We have a different Doctor Doom, different Black Panther here. We have Anthem of Champions, which is just green, white. Creatures you control get +1/+1. It's okay.
Oh, look at those borderless commanders come in Surge Foil. I can see that on the treatment thing there.
Ooh. That's going to be nice. The Surge Foils are really nice.
Oh, because that's the collector deck. That's what that is. I remembered there.
Oh, that's right. There's collector decks in this set. My goodness.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Goodness, there's the collector's edition deck. We also have Black Panther here.
These are the
and
Secret
that
Lair
is from
reprints.
the Secret Lair. Same is true with this Iron Man here from the Secret Lair, Captain America from the Secret Lair, Escape to the Wilds reprint, Fight to the Death reprint. Fight to the Death is a fun reprint. Destroy all blocking creatures and all blocked creatures.
It was fun.
Card's great. That's a really, really fun one to reprint. Then we have Privileged Position, Ravenous Tyrannosaurus. You got Storm from the Secret Lair, Sundering Growth, destroy target artifact or enchantment, then populate.
Yeah, that Storm's going to look sick in foil.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see that.
Then we have War Leader's Call and Wolverine Best There Is. The Storm is going to look amazing in foil, yeah. Then we have some artifacts to go over. The Arc Reactor. How do we feel about this one, chat? Improvise. It's like a giant, it's like a bigger Thran Dynamo. I shouldn't say giant. But the fact that you can improvise to get this out earlier, it does kind of bum me out that it enters tapped. But not bad, man.
No, you can play the things that untap.
You could. I play Worn Power Stone. I'm fine with Worn Power Stone entering tapped. Like, not everything needs to be perfectly optimized. So I'm fine with it, kind of like as is.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 rings. Your maximum hand size
I just like, because
is
if you're in an Arc Reactor, the improvise on that makes it like if you're in equipments, this thing could cost 0 mana. You just tap all your equipment.
Yeah, and then it's just like ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it comes in tabbed, but it's basically free.
Yeah. Then we have the 10 rings. 8 costs here. Your maximum hand size is 10. At the beginning of your end step, if you have fewer than 10 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Why is that card mythic? Because it offers insane card draw.
Yeah.
Then the Vision. 4 for a 2/5. Flying Vigilance. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Solar Beam. That's a Venusaur ability. The Vision gains double strike until end of turn. Or Density Control. The Vision gains indestructible until end of turn. And then Technopathy. Draw a card. Whoa! It has draw built into it. Nice. Different version of the Arc Reactor. Different version of the 10 rings. Different version of the Vision. I like that they went with like green. They didn't just go like artifact background. It's green. I like it. We have a heart-shaped herb. If a source an opponent controlled would deal damage to you, prevent one of that damage. And then it has 2 taps, sack this artifact. You may sack a creature. If you do, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control with 3/1/1 counters on it, and you become the Monarch. Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool. Sacrifice this artifact. You may sacrifice a creature. Okay, that's cool. The Vision does look like a banger. Yes. Then we have a different Vision here. Flying, whenever a player casts a spell, if it isn't that player's turn, choose one, put a 1/1 counter on the Vision, or the Vision phases out.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool.
And then Horn of Greed, which we have seen for some time. We got some lands here. I really like the lands.
I like the art style on like the one with the Captain America there.
Mm-hmm. This one?
No, the cap.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very minimal.
Yep.
Same with that beach one.
Yep.
I don't know if they're all the same artist for that. Oh yeah, it looks like the one. Yeah, and this our same artist did the other ones.
This one is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's 2 artists that did them all.
Cool. We got our basics. All right. Holy cow. Lot of Marvel today. So much Marvel. I think for now, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Thank you again to our channel sponsors, Card Conduit. and Dragon Shield Card Conduit. That is the best spot that you could go to sell your cards quickly and easily on the internet. You can take your unused singles that are 50 cents or more and send them off to Card Conduit. If you're looking to generate some funds so that you can pick up Marvel cards, you could sell your cards from the convenience of your own home. Just make sure that you know the difference between buy list prices and market prices. If you're buy listing your cards, be prepared to lose some value on them to be able to sell them quickly and conveniently. If you want to take the time to list all of your stuff, put it on the market, take pictures of it, list it, find buyers, be patient. You could get more for your cards, but it takes time and energy. If you want to sell stuff in bulk, if you want to get it out, then check out Card Conduit. You can use our code MartyMagic to save 10% on your fees when you do. And also Dragon Shield for all of your sleeves needs, deck boxes, playmats, more. Dragon Shield has you covered, and they have some really cool stuff on the horizon. You can use our code MM5 to save 5% when you check out with them. Nickel, I appreciate you. Says, great stream. I appreciate all of you so much for hanging out. So many of the usual suspects are here. Yeah, I'm in LA. I'm in NoHo. Are you in LA? You also in LA? Let's check here really quick. Thank you so much. I can't believe we have 75 people watching here all the way to the end. That is freaking cool. Thank you all so much. We really do appreciate you all. Oh, you're going to LA tomorrow. What are you going to LA for? Oh, 5'9", you're in Woodland Hills. Yeah, come to my part of town. Come over to Guildhall. Let's get a game.
Say we need a little get together.
Get a little get together going.
I will also be in LA tomorrow.
Yeah, Paige gets into LA tomorrow.
All the way from Canada.
Yeah, Guildhall is a bar, but everybody who goes there is just pretty much playing Magic or other stuff. No, Paige is in Canada.
Yeah, I'm in Alberta.
But yeah, we're gonna be she's gonna be in town for some days, and we're gonna be getting some stuff done. But if you are in town tomorrow, are you gonna be in the SoCal area, Nicole? And then 5'9", yeah, hit me up on Discord. Everybody, we appreciate you all, like, seriously, so much. This has been such a fun one. Oh yeah, Nicole, hit me up on Instagram or something like that, or on Discord, and we could connect. Until next time, chat. We've got some stuff to do. Like I said earlier, we've got an event coming up, so I need to get my suit to the dry cleaners before it gets too late in the day, because I got to get some stuff done. But it has been so fun hanging out with all of you. Big shout out to all of our moderators. Jank popped in briefly. Food Time was here. Food Time hanging out. I don't know if we saw Brody today. I don't know if Brody's busy, but Nickel, we do have Twitter. If you want to reach out over Twitter, that's fine. I think we do, right, Paige? Yeah.
Do you know the password to the Twitter?
No. I surely do not.
Maybe don't use that platform.
Yeah.
Or it'll be me answering.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. I'm hungry. We got some stuff to do. Yeah, hit me up, man. Hit me up. We'll get together. It'll be good to connect. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Excited for Marvel.
Have a good rest of your day.
We've got a preview card that's going to be coming up. We've got some fun stuff going on. And, yeah, Paige, thank you for joining.
Yeah. I was making content most of the time, but maybe next time I'll get my video working.
Yeah, Paige was here in spirit. MTG Gaming Bob, good to see you. Hello. And also, my friend, farewell. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and we will talk to you all soon. I'm going to get chapters updated on this video so that anybody can go through and kind of like watch the stream all the way through if you're interested. Until next time, we will see you later. Oh, Josh, thank you for the $2. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also shout out to Charles Vania earlier for the 10 gifted. Yeah, you all are great. We'll catch up with you soon, and I wish we could hang out longer, but there's just too much stuff to get done right now. So, bye, Lily.
Goodbye.
See ya.